君にキュンってしちゃってカラフルに世界がそうなるのずっとそばにいたいの止めないでメリーゴーラウンド甘い色を重ねてカラフルに包んであげるよ
Morning, Eriko gal. Afternoon, gal. Evening. Hi, Eriko. Thank you for joining me for not just the first, but the second second Pomodoro stream. Second Tippa stream. Thank you. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. If you were here earlier, you saw that we were doing a little bit of Pomodoro, so heck. But today was a dedicated 2 streams kind of day. We got our school stuff out of the way, so now we could be actual Galmers. Gal! And today, because it is Halloween and something about spooky games or something, I guess, we are going to be playing a spooky game. Now, I don't know how spooky we're getting into. I really limited the choices here. So I apologize. There's like some other choices that I'm like, oh, those would be good, but I'm like, I don't know if I want to start them. Like Night in the Woods and Inscription, which is something that I think we talked about a few streams ago about playing, are games that I would like to play eventually. Night in the Woods is definitely something I want to play this year. I don't know if I'll get to Inscription this year, which sounds crazy. It's like, Tippa, but it's only, the end of October, beginning of November. There's still so much of the month or year left. I don't think I'll get to it. We'll try to finish what we could finish this year and kind of see what happens. Smile emoji. I hope you guys are doing super well. Let me say my hellos. We'll talk about our choices that we're doing today, and life will be good. Yeah. Hi Robo. Hi. Let's go. Hi Pata again. Hi. Welcome. Totally the first time today. Oh, sorry. The again had slipped out. I apologize. Hello. Hi Marshall. Hi. Boo. What? Welcome on in. Welcome. Thank you, Roper, for the contribution to the karaoke. So as you've seen, a few of you guys may have seen, sorry, I apologize, that we're doing a karaoke community challenge. So if you want to dedicate your 2K max, our goal right now is to hit 150,000 channel points, which is something that may not be hit before the Vienna trip, but we'll see it when we see it. Hi, Sunny, though. Hi. Oh, gosh. I know you're talking about Smirker voice. I just ate, which is the worst thing. I just ate. So my voice will be like, and 2. So there's really no in between right now until it passes. But Sunny says, hi, Tips, and happy Halloween, everyone. May you hear that Smirker voice of yours when you open the door to kids wanting their trick-or-treats? Let me know what you got for the treats as well. So I think my stream might go a little overlap with it. I realize that kids are, well, children, and I don't know how early or late it would be, so I kind of right before stream set up a table, which is why I was running a little bit later than anticipated. I didn't realize that kids might be doing Halloween now at like 4:35ish, and I'm like, I'll be streaming. And so I just put a table outside, but I can't help but think, like, what about ants? I just put candy outside, and mind you, they're all like, how do you call it? Wrapped? But I'm just like, gosh darn it, do I bring it back in? Like, I don't know. I kind of already left it out already for like the past like 20 minutes, so I decay. we'll see. I don't know if it's a good decision or not, but there's still some daylight outside, so I don't know. I was gonna wait until it got dark around 6, but I was told that kids may come out as soon as like 5 o'clock or even 4 o'clock, so I'm like, yeah, I don't want to miss that. I didn't buy all this candy to not give out, and I was gonna dress up, but I was like, maybe not. So as you see, my smoker voice is here. I apologize. But I won't be greeting anybody with this kind of voice, unfortunately. Yeah, sorry. Oh my goodness. Anyway, hi Kenny, hi, welcome on in, welcome. Thank you also for your contribution for the karaoke. Thank you. And hi Karma, hi, welcome on in, welcome. Can't help it. What are you not helping? Rose of them scared there might be people knocking on my door tonight. Just turn off your lights. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I let people know that my house is available by turning on my light outside and leaving a table full of candy with a sign of take a treat or two or you'll get a big boo. It didn't really rhyme, but it felt right. But yeah. Alright, let me go cough up my lung, and then what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go ahead and set up the poll so I can tell you guys what we're actually choosing today for our spooky game. We even have the heart rate monitor, which has politely died, but it's okay, I'll catch up. I believe in the dream. Hey, Karma says be the cool neighbor that leaves a pizza box outside. Oh brother, again, I'm just worried about bugs, you know? I love candy. Oh, I didn't even say what candy I got. I got like Reese's, I got M&M's, I got 3 Musketeers. There were some leftover Starbursts I had. yeah, they'll be okay. So it'll be daijoubu. They'll be okay. That was a good variety. It's all kind of chocolate, but except the Starburst, but it is what it is. It was what I was able to grab, and snacks that I would be able to eat later with no problem. Ta-da! I wasn't really big into Reese's, but the issue is just not the issue. They had them in like a white chocolate and a milk chocolate, and they had like the milk chocolate was supposed to be like bat shape, and the white chocolate were ghosts, and I'm like, oh my goodness, that's so good. Okay, I'm gonna go cough up my lungs now because holy hell. Anyway, 3 Musketeers, you haven't heard of it? Oh my goodness, let me show you really quick, okay? One moment, 3 Musketeers candy. Actually, this is one of my favorite candies. It is a candy bar consisting of chocolate-covered fluffy whipped nougat? Yes. And so it looks something like this. It's just fluffy chocolate, to be completely honest with you. Oh, heck. I hate that none of these are PNGs. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Let's see. By the way, Cups, I have... Well, actually, hold on. Okay, never mind. We're good. It's nougat? Yeah, I don't know how you feel about that. But it looks like this. Ta-da! So I got little mini bars of that because I had what do you call it? There was like a BOGO, a buy one get one, a candy snack on 3 Musketeers a while back. So I had that as my little like office candy for a little bit. So I kind of grown like a bigger appreciation for this kind of candy. Plus it's just nice. I don't know, nice. Yeah. Alright, Cubs, let's talk about our choices, okay? Okay. So let me go ahead and get the poll going. So we only have 2 choices today, and it's kind of like, whoa, Tippa, as someone who's really indecisive, you only decided on 2? Yes. So Club chooses what game? And so for those unfamiliar with also Club chooses basically you, yes you, as the Cubs get to choose what game we're playing today. So let's go ahead and do that, shall we? So what game we're playing? So 2 choices. So let me make sure I'm writing the titles right. So the first choice is It Gets So Lonely Here, and that's a Yuri visual novel where it's, I don't know if it's straight up horror. It's not like, I wouldn't say scary, but it can be very unsettling, and I really liked what I saw when another streamer was playing it, so I'm like, oh, I want to play it. That is, I'm so sorry, Cubs. But the other choice is also Little Goody Two Shoes, but it's the demo. I can't write demo. Heck. One moment. I'm not gonna make it through the stream! No, but I'm just kidding. Alright, so we have our 2 choices. Da-da! So, it gets lonely here again. Visual novel, very unsettling. Really like the story. If you like Yuri, ba-da! There you go. And then our second choice is Little Goody Two Shoes, but it's a demo. It's not the full preview because from the trailer itself, it looks actually really scary. Like, I can appreciate the aesthetic, the style, what it's going for, the elements that the game has. All great and wonderful for me to watch someone else play it. I don't know if I'll mentally be strong enough to play it, so we're gonna basically test the waters if it wins. And again, the other choices that will eventually happen again, like Inscription and Night in the Woods, will be something, it will be eventual. Da-dang! Yeah. So I have the poll set for 10 minutes, so just let me know what you guys would like to do. I got everything set up. Let's see, hold on. Excuse me? I got a heart rate monitor, and guess what? I got baby Peas. She is sleeping. She is so eepy. I don't know if I can set up the camera. Let's see. If I add this, will this be okay? And if I do this, hold on. And if I do this, and this, and that, ta-da! So we also have baby Peas here, chilling out. So now we can all chill together. I don't know where to put baby Peas. I'm sorry, baby Peas. You'll be right here. Right here? Right here. Right here. Right here. Yeah, sure. Moral support Peas. I know! Wait, I can put her here too. If it covers alerts. Okay, I fixed it. Ta-da! But yeah. Moral support baby Peas. I hope I don't like spook her out too much. Again, if it gets so lonely here, it wouldn't be so bad. Like, I could just read through that with my spooker voice right now. Yeah, that sounds like a good decision. And then if I scream too much for Little Goody Two Shoes, then heck. But we'll see how it goes. I would have picked spookier games, but I wanted something that was relatively on the shorter side. It's kind of like, oh, well, there's a lot of Michos who are playing like Five Nights at Freddy's, you know, maybe because the movie just came out. Yeah, I couldn't do it again. Jump scares are too spooky. And I'm trying to think of any other like short-term games, but none of them are really coming to my mind right now. Wah. I have to go. I mean, there's the other game that's been getting a lot of not popularity. It's coming back into mainstream, I guess might be the right word, and I don't know the name of the game, but people keep referring it to the horror incest game, and it's the characters that are just like black and white, and they're very like, they're stylized in a very specific way. And I know that game was circulating. Wait, huh? I'm gonna go find it. So I know Nyaru. Which, oh my goodness, speaking of Nyaru and everyone else, really quick before I find Nyaru, Phoebe, by the way, in Little Goody Two Shoes apparently voices one of the characters. I think it's the character in green, and she's like, yeah, I voiced the English and the Japanese, and I'm like, that's absolutely insane, gamer. I'm so happy for you. Phoebe is a well, I don't actually know what she is at this point. She considers herself a 2.5D idol, where she did a lot of VTubing as herself. Alright, well, yes, as herself, but like as her VTuber persona, which was based off her like IRL appearance and herself, and that she was like a bee, and she was like a little fairy. She's like a princess aesthetic, very cute, super talented singer and artist, 100% emoji. But she had graduated, but it was literally her birthday 2 days ago, and she kind of popped out of nowhere to be like, birthday comeback celebration, and we're like, what? So as you can imagine, it's like, what? But I'm just very happy for her. Hi Shia, hi, welcome on in, welcome. Yeah, there's a lot of what? Let me see. So yeah, but the reason why I thought of her is because Nyaru is also an idol who is she used to brand herself as like a failed idol, and I think now she's branded herself to like a regular idol. I don't know the name of the game. She didn't put it in the title, so now I have to dig through her Twitch. Hold on. Okay. So the title of the game, and I can easily copy and paste it really quick for all of us, is The Coffin of Andy and Lele, I guess is the name. And a lot of people are bringing it more. Apparently, this game came out a couple of months ago. I thought it came out recently because it was, you know, spooky Halloween RPG Maker kind of game. You know what I mean? But it's getting a lot of backlash because there was incest, and I'm just like, what? What? Why? And it's kind of like, maybe that's just like a funky route, you know what I mean? Not to go super spoily into like, Oishinoko or anything like that, but a lot of people have the speculation that it might go in the incest route, and I'm like, gosh darn it, why can't we have normal relationships? But I don't think it is going, and I'm so up to date with Oishinoko manga, so I'm having a blast reading. It's still one of my favorite anime. But yeah, that's the game that's circling around, and that was probably another short RPG Maker game, but I didn't want to deal with any nonsense related to it, you know what I mean? Yeah, art style is so cute, which makes it like so sad, you know? Let's sigh. I'm definitely still curious about the story enough to, like, what do you call it, watch someone play it, but I don't know if I'll be touching it anytime soon. Apologies. Plus, it might be too spooky. Again, there's just certain elements of RPG Maker games that are just like, no thank you, no thank you. But yeah. What else is really new and cool? No, yeah, I think those are the only games I was really thinking of from the top of my head, so apologies. Halloween Scare, she came back? Wah! Double stream? Wah! Being responsible? Wah! Oh no! But that's okay, I'm happy to be here. Hi Sub, hi, welcome on in. Welcome. Oh my goodness. I'm trying to think of what else, but I don't think there's really anything else. That's the issue with having double streams, am I right? Sorry. But then the pull tight again. Well, we'll just continue to wait, I guess. That's why must you have me suffer? Or how do you call it? You're very enthusiastic about how do you say it? Tying the pull, and I can appreciate that. We love having passion, but I would have been like, oh, I see this game is winning. Oh, well, the poll's almost ending, so I guess I'll go ahead and start it up. Ba. But no, we must be here to suffer together. Hi Num, hi, welcome on in, welcome. Thank you so very much for the 2,000 as well. Thank you for contributing to the karaoke. We're already 24%. Let's go, gamers. Oh, well, technically 25 now. Oh my goodness, Steph, thank you. Thank you. Oh my goodness, let's see if we could do the math. It's still really early in the stream, and this and that. Maybe we'll get to 30%, and so if we get to 30% with one stream, well, technically it's 2. So if we do the math and it's 15% per stream, maybe, and it's it may take about 6 to 7 streams to complete our goals, which is definitely doable, very possible. So I'm super duper excited. Yay! But yeah. Cups, please. You know, I could have probably put Elden Ring back on here. That's a horror game in my eyes. When I said together. Jamili, hi. Oh my goodness. Hello, welcome. And happy Halloween. Thank you so much for contributing 2,000 gagals or channel points into the karaoke reading as well. Or a community challenge. Thank you. Cubs, I'm about to start putting options on the table. Cubs, why? Oh, there's a I'm sorry, baby peas. There's a tiebreaker. Yay! Ta-da! Alright, Cubs, guess what? I guess we're playing It's So Lonely here. Woohoo! Woohoo! Sweet, big sweet. Maybe, what do you call it? Later this week, we could still try to play. Oh, I thought I heard a noise from her. Later this week, we could still try to play Little Goody Two Shoes, or it can definitely be an option. It's still available on the table. Yeah, on the table for later this week's Cub Club Chooses on Thursday. So, if you voted for Goody Two Shoes, I don't blame you. Yeah, it gets so lonely here. It wouldn't be as spooky, so I appreciate it. Question mark. Alright. It gets so lonely here. Da-da! Da-da! Alright, Cubs, so let me politely BRB. I will go ahead and get that game set up, and I'll see you guys in just a little bit, okay? Okay, one moment. Ta-da! Oh, of course, the music had stopped when I transitioned over. Heck! Hi, Cub! Welcome back, welcome back. Sorry it took a little while to set up the game. The game, as you see, the ratio's a little bit weird. It's just kind of like a square, so it kind of works out because my hat is so big that I guess it won't be blocking anything, you know what I mean? by the way. Hi, welcome on in. Hi, Ruth. Hi, welcome on in. Welcome. I don't know why my heart rate monitor is still on. I have politely turned it off. I had turned it off because I don't know if this game is gonna be spooky in a sense that it's gonna have my Doki Dokis like going, you know what I mean? I'd rather save that kind of Doki Dokiness for how do you say it? Celeste, or like, you know, an actual spooky game. Let me know if the music is okay now. I did lower it. It's loud on my side too, I'm not gonna lie to you. I lowered it by 3. It might still be a little too loud, but please do let me know, okay? But yeah, I'm actually excited to play this game. I hopefully have gotten over my smoker phase. Knock on wood. I hope this is real wood. Then knock it on them. Oh wait, how can I forget? How can I be a buffoon? How dare I forget baby peas? Give me one moment. Baby. Alright. She could be my emotional support animal. Where do I put her? Where do I put baby peas? Gosh darn it. I'll put her right here. Hopefully it'll be okay. Maybe? Yeah, there you go. I'll just keep her right here. A bit more quieting? Oh yeah, not a problem. Let me go ahead and hopefully that is okay. If it needs a smidge up, let me know. But yeah, ye old visual novel framing. Ale smoker face? Yeah, I just ate, so I'm kind of like, how's it going, guys? Yeah. Can't be lonely if you have Peace. This is true. You know, Peace is my emotional support animal. She was here right before COVID. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to say it like that, but like, you know, she came to my household on January 2020, and then the world kind of went to heck in March 2020. So it was really, really nice. That's why, I mean, I already love her because I love her and she is her and she's baby Peas, but she's helped out like way more emotionally than I think anyone like really knows, you know? But yeah. Hi, Mr. Astra. Hi, welcome. Pet her? Okay, but she's sleeping, but I can pet her. I'll give you your Chris have pets that way. Hi, baby Peas. Sorry, you can't see my hand. She's sleeping. No, this girl is so eepy. It's not a picture. No, it's not a picture. That's my hand. That's a real cat live. She's just eepy. Well, welcome on in. Welcome. Alright, so we're going into this visual novel relatively blind, I suppose. Like, I know how one of the endings goes, but it truly is what it is in this heck of the earth, you know what I mean? So we'll try to see our best of like what we end up going with, you know? I definitely want to try to see if I can avoid the route that I saw, but it is what it is. Geez and Tuber? Oh, she's really setting like a new foundation for us VTubers. Alright, let's put my reader voice on. I will try to inhale as much air as I can and have it as enunciated as possible. You are running through a forest. It is late at night and the sky is as black as pitch. There's nothing to light your way save for the moon's silky glow, but its rays cannot reach you, not properly. The trees which surround you, jutting out on the earth like eerie monuments to a foreign god, are blotting out most of the light. You cannot see where you are going. Even if you had commenced your flight at a more sensible hour, however, with the light of the sun to aid you, it would be of little use. You do not know where you are going. You have no map, no route, no plan, no benches. Sorry. You are running like a frightened animal, anxious and nervy, with no destination in mind. You have no desire as you run, save to escape. You cannot let yourself be caught. If that were to happen, you are certain that you would be ruined. You have no choice, therefore, but to keep going, on and on and on, though your feet are screaming at you for mercy. You have no idea how long you've been running. Time has begun to blend together. It's lost all meaning. Something sharp snags at the hem of your skirt, but you do not have the luxury to pause and examine what has happened. Instead, you tug. Your skirt tears, the sound splitting through the forest, and you stumble forward with a shocked gasp. You are free, but at what cost? I ask myself every day this. Your skirt has been irrevocably damaged. It might be too late to worry about such trivial matters now, though. If you do not start running again, and soon, she will catch you. Hi, Reed. Yeah, hello. Welcome, welcome. Then, your life will be over. You do not know if she is still following you, but you do not want to risk looking over your shoulder. If you were to see her, silhouetted behind a tree, looking at you with that sickly sweet smile that once ensnared you, you would lose what little nerve you possess. Your legs would lock up, your blood would freeze into your veins. Then, you would crumple. You would fall, but you would not hit the ground. She would be there to catch you. Did she not promise when you made that contract that you would never be alone? You would like to take back that silly wish of yours, but it's too late for that now. It is too late for a lot of things. All you can do is run. You run and run and run while icy fog swirls about your feet. It is cold enough to sap the heat from your body, and you shudder from it. It feels as though you are drowning. It feels as though you're being buried alive. Your knees and your shins, meanwhile, are bleeding. You cannot endure much more of this. But if you value your own life, you must. I don't mean to laugh at that. I just feel like I'm reading so seriously. But like, I feel like if I speak normal, then I'm like, oh, Tippa, you're making light of this poor girl's situation. I'm like, no, I'm not, I promise. But you run and you run and you run until at long last you reach a fork in the road. Oh boy! There are 3 paths which split off through the forest. Well, 4 if you count the path down which you came. You cannot exactly double back on yourself though, not when you have put so much effort into running forward. You can only press on. The 3 paths are signposts, which is something of a strange sight to see that since you're so deep in the forest. Dark though as it may be, you have grown accustomed to the shadows. You can just pick out the writing on this old dilapidated signpost, curved and slanted though it is. Your fate, if you will forgive me for sounding cliché, is in your hands. Now I wonder, which path will you take? Oh, this is so spooky. I don't think I would go to the shore. I'm not like a swimming person. I'm not like a beach person. I don't think that's it. The castle, something as that sounds, I think that would lead me to the route that I wasn't as familiar with. Or I am more familiar with, even though again I'm playing this game relatively blind. So I guess I'm gonna go to the village. Excuse me. You want to go to the village? Good idea. Let us see what further trials await you there. This night is far from over, as much as you wish it was, and there is still so much more. There's still much and more to discover. Heck. I wonder what will happen next. You follow the path which leads to a village, supporting yourself on weary, achy limbs which feel ready at a moment's notice to snap at the knees beneath the burden of your weight. The soles of your feet are screaming at you. You need to lie down, and quickly. You only hope as you continue to run that you would find a suitable residence in which to rest at the village. You do not know what will await you at the village, but you have visions as you run of a quaint scenic settlement, all thatched cottages with sloping roofs. Surely there will be a kindly peasant who will be willing to put you up with a— wait, I can't read anymore. I'll go hydrate. Hi, Tipanya. Hi. Thank you for the hydrate. Thank you. One moment. Thank you. Alright. Surely there will be a kindly peasant who will be willing to put up a young runaway for a few nights. You can imagine, too, the face of this kindly peasant out from the fairy tales you read in abundance as a small child. She will be a broad-shouldered and ruddy face, with dull brown hair crammed beneath a cap. Her arms will be sturdy from the many years of washing clothes and milking cows, but she will be kind to you and compassionate, just like your mother. You do not know what mothers are like. You hardly ever spoke to yours. You are only guessing. You are not a complete fool, however, despite your tendency to daydream, and you do have a few reservations. Peasants do not, as you know from your very voracious readings, have much money, nor do they have much food. It might be hard to convince the residents of the village, even the kindly washerwoman in your fantasies, to take in a complete stranger. Still, you must try. That is all you can do, really. So you run to the village. It takes some time before you finally emerge from the woods, but finally, you manage it. How much time, you ask? I cannot answer that. Did I not say that time had begun to lose all its meaning? The forest is behind you now. At least all of the awful nightmares which dwelt in it. It is still cold though, and still foggy. It is still dark too. The sun has yet to rise. You can see the moon more clearly now, though as it hangs above your head, round as any pearl or orb or crystal ball. The moonlight shines down upon the village, nestled among the hills like a diorama. Hope anew bubbles within you. You have finally made it. Surely not, but your salvation awaits you? Question mark? You follow the winding dirt path to the village, looking this way and that. But your hopes, such a precious, fragile thing, soon begin to fade. Blech. Hold on. The village up close does not look half as welcoming as you would have imagined. There are cottages, yes, but they are in a state of disrepair. There are holes in the roof and holes in the window. Most of the doors are tightly shut, but others are gaping open. The kitchens beyond them even darker than the night sky which shrouds you. Sunny-san, hi hi! Oh my goodness, hello! Hello! Cubs, you know what to do. Ham smash raiders! Ham smash in the hecking heck! Welcome raiders. My name is Tipanya, bear cat extraordinaire. A bear cat VTuber. I do the cow gals and the nyanyas, and it's very nice to meet you. How are you? Oh my goodness, let me give you a shout out. One moment. Happy Halloween to you as well. What were you up to? Let's see. Apex Legends! That's pretty spooky if you do ask me. I hope you got your wins. I hope you got the equivalent of you are the champion. And you had some really good games. No slutty games. Only good games. My favorite bird called me. Goodness. Point left, point right emoji. Hello. I hope you're doing super well. Welcome on in. Welcome. We're just playing It's a Movie here. And it's a Yuri visual novel that's supposed to be spooky. So let's see how spooky it is. I did get somewhat like spoiled on one of the routes, so I'm kind of like, oh, that's a little spooky. I would not like that to happen to me. You've been addicted to Apex? No, you're so good. I completely understand. I can appreciate the appeal of battle royals and whatnot as like the opposite gamer of like, yeah, gamers, I'm sorry, I still play Fortnite. Well, all the victory royales, it's so good. But yeah, honestly, no hecking worries. Thank you so very much for the raid. Please, what do you call it? Please get some food. Eat something super duper yummy. Definitely drink something super yummy. And definitely go ahead and stretch. Thank you so much for lurking the raid and have a good one, okay? Thank ya! And yeah, spooky! And it's free! So if you ever want to go ahead and play it, you're more than welcome to. At no cost! Whoa! The savings are scary! Okay, I'm gonna stop. Oh my goodness. But yeah, eat something super yummy, stretch, and I'll catch you later, okay? Have a good one! I will now continue to read as I try hard. Alright. Most of the doors are tightly shut, but others are gaping open. The kitchens beyond them even darker than the night sky which shrouds you. There are no lights on any of the windows, and neither can you see any people. Insomnia. Gosh, they gave my word weakness. Insomniacs. Blah, blah, blah. Like you, at them. You cannot hear anything either, beyond the sound of your own footsteps and the low, mournful sighing of the wind. The village is quite quiet. Eerily so. Brother, I picked the wrong route. Brother, I think this is worse than like the castle. And I don't know how else to say it. Like I don't want to be in an abandoned village. It probably has the resources for me to survive, but like I don't know about this one, chief. Exactly. Alright. It is immediately obvious, even to a naive girl such as yourself, that something terrible must have befallen this village. You know before you try your luck at one of these houses that nobody will answer you. There will be no kindly red-armed washerwoman to welcome you here, no matter how much you wish for it. But that does not stop you from wishing regardless. Your knuckles rap smartly against the wooden door, your efforts soon prove, however, to be in vain. There is nobody here to hear your entries. How very sad. You try another door, and then another, but the result is the same regardless of how many doors you rap upon. Wicka wicka wah. Nobody answers you. How could they? There's nobody there. Once again, you have found yourself all alone. At least you have found some dwellings in which you could rest your weary head. Exactly! Will you utilize one of these cottages for your purposes? Nobody's here and you might as well. But no, an abandoned cottage is not what you're looking for. You would far rather have companionship, would you not? Ah, gosh darn it, I would have stayed. And like hid myself under, I don't know, something. Let's sigh. Bravely, you swallow your tears. You wipe your eyes with the back of your arm in a well-practiced motion, then inhale. You square your shoulders and you keep on going. Surely the village cannot be completely deserted. There must be one person here at the very least who can help you. That is what you're thinking as you resume your search. You flit from cottage to cottage with precious little to show for your determination until you make yet another discovery. Cow Cow! Omni Bear, thank you so very much for the follow. Welcome to the Cow Club. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This village with its squat thatched cottages bathed in the moon's glow has a church. Well, of course it has a church. The villagers who once dwelt here were not godless heathens. Not that their faith did them all that good in the end. Still, the sight of the church soothes your overtaxed heart. You were so focused on your fantasies of a kindly washerwoman taking you in that you did not pause to entertain the fancy of a kindly nun doing much the same. Nun-wife, nun-wife, nun-wife. All hope is not lost. You approach the church, which seems to tower over you despite it being so humble. The church is a small one, but it is stout and sturdy. It must be, for it has withstood centuries, forever standing. Sentinel? Oh my goodness. On this hill like a relic from a bygone era. Oh my goodness! Hi Omni, hi, welcome! Why hello, it's nice to meet you. If Miss Sunny thinks you're cool, then you are cool. Great! First time talking to a bear cat? They're usually too scary to talk to? No. I don't know what kind of bear cats you may have met in the past. But I promise, I'm super friendly. Nothing to be scared of, unless you want there to be something scared of. Like honestly, if you do something really wacky or weenie, like I will not be afraid to tell you. But yeah, welcome on in! Welcome! Bear cats, by the way, are super real animals. They're not like a combination of animals like a bear or cat or blah. Super real, so please Google. Yeah, fear not. Welcome on in, welcome. We're just trying to find someone to keep us company. I know we're all together, but in game, there's no one for this poor girl, so let's try our very best. Eh? The church does not have any stained glass windows, but it does not need them. Even without more luxurious trappings, the church still exudes an aura of dignified solemnity. The stone building is fringed by a sizable graveyard, one which occupies the rest of the hilltop and some of its sloping sides. The graves, which have been planted by generations of wardens, are hewn from a similar stone to which the church's walls are made of. Some of the gravestones are shaped like... They're just drawing words here. I just want to shout that out really quick. I think they're putting words here. What the heck is lozengens? While others are shaped like crosses. A handful of headstones are even shaped like angels, though these are few and far between. There are very few people in a village such as this one who can afford such luxurious final resting places. You look at the tombstones with an almost childlike curiosity, forgetting in your examination of the visceral, heart-rending fear which gripped you as you ran across the forest. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Maybe it's that? You see the thing on the left? So like the right is obviously a cross, yeah? So the left, this might be the lozeng, I don't know. You're out of the woods now, and you have subconsciously already begun to relax. You're trying to read the names hewed onto the Myrad tombstones, but it is very dark and you are tired, and some of these graves are very, very old indeed. You strain your eyes, but you do not have that much luck in this endeavor. Oh well. Such super flourish details are not important. Google says it's a rhombus. Brother, I know my shapes, and that does not look like a rhombus. Okay, maybe there's some fancy ones that I'm just not seeing, or maybe it's the one behind the cross? So it really look like a rhombus, but okay, I take it. You eventually tire of examining the graves in turn. This graveyard is an expansive one, unusually so. Given the village itself is so small, how can it boast so many corpses? And there's so much to explore. You walk about the perimeter of the church, casting your gaze first here and then there and then everywhere, consumed as you are by your immense, all-encompassing curiosity. And as you do, you see her. Oh no, she's cute! Oh no! Alright. She looks like an ordinary girl, small and scrawny just like yourself, but she is much, much more than her unremarkable appearance might suggest. For some moments you observe her, hiding all the while in the shadows cast by the church, like a furtive lizard clinging against a rocky edifice to shroud itself from the sun. Yeah, this game went through a thesaurus. No way we're saying edifice here, or edifice, like hello? Romance the Gravedigger, let's go! There's no sunlight here though. There's only the night sky and the stars and the moon. Beneath the moon's light, a silvery implement the girl is clutching shimmers. It takes you a few moments to see that this girl is clutching into her hands. It is not until you see her manipulate it, its sharp edges biting into the earth, that you understand. It's a shovel. That shovel's not digging anything anymore? No, don't you hear it in the background? It's like Minecraft. This girl is standing in an isolated corner of the churchyard late at night and she's digging at a grave. Well, you suppose she could be digging a hole for the sake of it, but her work seems too much precise for this one to be the result of mere whimsy. It is hard for you to see her face given the distance between the pair of you, but her posture is one that speaks of supreme concentration. She moves slowly, mechanically, like a woman on a mission. That's me! Driving at the end of her shovel into the earth over and over. Her motions are regular enough to be repetitive. There is something hypnotic almost in the manner in which she attends this task. Should you risk interrupting her? Do you dare? You get the feeling that she would not appreciate it. The shovel in her hand, meanwhile, is rather hefty. If she wishes it, she should cause you... If she wishes it, she could cause you no small amount of damage with it. Cold anxiety makes your skin prickle. Brother, do we have a save option here? Let's save. Yeah, I don't think the handle's lasting really long. And I don't know if it's really agronomic. You definitely want a longer lever arm. In our biomechanic class, we talk about the different kind of levers. We talk about class 1 or type 1, type 2, and type 3. I think right now we're looking at a type 1, but my memory is also really bad. Oh my goodness. Wow, cold anxiety makes your skin prickle. You do not know if you should risk speaking to her when she in her dark cloak with her shovel looks so very strange. But what do you have left to lose? You've come this far. It would be a folly to turn back now. It is with this thought in your mind that you decide to approach the strange girl. She looks a little bit like Tippa. If I squint? Oh yeah, actually. Oh no! Wait, this is me! Oh my goodness, we picked the right path. I'm so happy for us. Your footsteps are quiet. You have grown accustomed to slinking around like a cat, but they are not quiet enough. The girl's senses must be finely tuned because she blinks. And then she turns. Your eyes meet, and once that... Oh goodness. And once they do, you feel your breath catch in your throat. You did not have a clear view of the girl before, concealed as you were in the shadows, but now she's looking at you. You can tell that she's very pretty. Her skin is smooth and her hair, though obscured by her dark hood, is very fair. Her eyes, meanwhile, are a clear, cool blue, like ice. Huh? Of course, the first thing I think about while watching anyone holding anything with a metal part is that they could one-hit KO me if they wish. No. We clarified that a small amount of damage will be made if she hates us, so it's daijoubu. Those eyes of hers, which are large with unease, are fringed with her very long fair eyelashes. She looks as though she has stepped out of pages of a picture book. She is simply too perfect to belong to this world. Oh, I actually think I saw a screenshot of what happens with this, this route. Boo! I'm not looking forward to it. Perhaps she has some kind of vision? A waking dream? A hallucination? But no, she is none of these things. The shovel she is clutching in her hands looks solid enough, its pointed tip glittering wickedly in the moonlight. You steel yourself, expecting, perhaps, some sort of outburst. But the tension soon drained from the girl's slender shoulders. Her fingers, which were once gripping the handle of her shovel, tightly relax. Her lips curve upwards at the edges. She is smiling, and what a smile it is. It is transformative. When she smiles, she looks radiant, angelic almost. Wow, okay. Hers is a smile that is so suffice, oh my goodness, with light that your eyes begin to prickle from it. You are so relieved, you almost feel like if you could cry. It would not be the first time you have wept during this night, and neither would it be too surprising if you did. You have been through a lot. You must be exhausted. The girl holding the shovel seems to realize this because she bridges the distance between you cautiously, as one might approach a skittish cat. Then she says in a rough voice, which does not match her dainty appearance. Well, she does live in a rural village. What were you expecting? Oh, it's so good to see another person. I was afraid I was the only person left alive. The only one in the whole world. This game is showing me how many English words I've yet to discover. Oh, brother, don't worry. It's, how do you call it? They're just fancy adjectives that they're just using to describe. No worries, no worries. This is like... Yeah, they went through a thesaurus, basically. So no worries. Now, this is quite an effusive greeting. Her introductory speech is riddled with exclamation marks. She's rather more personable than her apparel would, one would suggest. You, a well-bred young lady, cannot help but feel overwhelmed. It is your turn, now, to be on your guard. Anxiously, you observe the girl with the shovel, and you ask her what she means. What happened? Oh? Don't you know? There's an awful lot of you don't know. Wait, sorry, there's an awful lot you don't know. So much, in fact, that it would fill a whole encyclopedia. No, a whole library. You shake your head, ashamed at your ignorance, and the girl frowns.
You mustn't be around from these parts. I guess I should have known. This village is a small one, and everybody knows everybody else.
And the toad did come out for a moment. Not the old country man voice. Yeah, she said she was country. They said she was country. I don't know how to speak country. Yeehaw! The girl's expression falls.
At least they used to. Back when there were still people to know. That ain't the case now, though. Not after the plague.
There was a plague? That would certainly explain why the village when you walked through was so quiet. Did everybody else succumb to this mysterious illness?
That's right. It's just me here now. I've not seen another human being in a long, long time. It gets so lonely here.
Brother, I picked the right path actually. They just dropped the title of the stream. This route was meant to be. I picked the one true OTP route. Let's go! Oh my goodness. Now, that's an interesting turn of phrase. It catches inside your heart like a burr. Have you heard it before? Huh. You don't have much time to ponder this, however, because the girl takes a step towards you.
Oh, but where are my manners? They must have gone rusty after being on my own for so long.
Man, I need a better voice for her, because gosh darn it, I don't know if I can make it through this. My apologies! No. My apologies, miss. You look like you've come a long way. You said you were a traveler, yes? And your hands are so very cold, just like ice. Sure. Would you like to come inside? Maybe have something warm to eat and to drink? My home's small, I'm afraid, and my food ain't nothing fancy, but I'd be more than willing to share. I don't like the floppy has a rounded corner on the wrong edge of it, though. Oh, yeah, huh? Weird, but okay. Hand holding out of nowhere? True horror. Ugh, human contact with a girl? Oh my goodness. Sorry, baby peas. It's not every day another girl stops by, especially that is one as pretty as yourself. I'm feeling very blessed. The girl laughs, a carefree, airy, soft sort of laugh, which does not match your initial impression of her. Bye, baby peas. Please hold. Bye-bye. Baby peas, the cup say bye. She's going out the door. Alright. Huh? Wait, she's wearing work gloves? How does she know how cold your hands are? They're just that cold. Oh, you thought when you saw her among the graves, among us? When you saw her among the graves that she would be more distant and somehow, excuse me, more mysterious. Perhaps you are mixing her up with someone else. You are still unsure if you could trust this girl, but her invitation is an appealing one. It is much more appealing, certainly than spending the night outdoors in a cold kipping on the graves. What are you? A romantic poet? Please, you must make a show of pondering the girl's invitation. At the very least, you do not want to appear too eager, but you're what? Do you like acquaintanceship? Acquaintancy? His alas, and why would you ever refuse her? Alright, is there an option to refuse her? Because we're just saving. She's the first friendly face you've seen all night. Without her, you would be all alone. He says she needed peace. Yeah, she needs a little bit of peace time. Your hostess leads you to a small, humble home, located but a stone's throw away from the church, built in the shadows of a twisted, towering sycamore. The girl's home is in such a state that seems a folly to even call it a home. Hovel would, to you, be the more appropriate descriptor. But when your hostess leads you inside, her eyes alive, and she says, "Here we are, home sweet home." You don't have the heart to tell her that you don't find her home very homey or very sweet. That would be incredibly rude. As a guest, you ought to be more appreciative. Oh. Half-heartedly, you look around your newfound surroundings. The ceiling supported by wooden joists and perilously low. Not so much that you are in danger of bumping your head, but just enough to feel claustrophobic. There's a fire in the corner, though it's not consigned to a grate. The fire instead is blazing in the open, a circle of logs that alight like a scene from a witch's kitchen. Above the fire hangs a silvery pot, suspended from one of the wooden eaves. Other objects of interest are hung from the eaves, iron implements that you take to be cooking utensils, various herbs, and strips of meat left to be cured. The smell of cooking fills the air, mingled with the sharp, sour scent of unwashed bodies. How, you wonder, does your hostess clean herself? You do not see a bathtub anywhere. Perhaps she does not possess one. The girl's home is unremarkable in every regard, but it is, you suppose, better than nothing. At least there's a roof over your head and food to put in your belly. The girl looks at the pot suspended over the fire, which she gives a stir with a ladle. Hold on one moment, because I feel like I'm like when I speak. One moment. I feel like I need like the nuts because again I feel so nasally. Maybe I am, but anyway. Then she brings a ladle to her lips to taste whatever concoction she has brewing within it. You can only hope that she is not like the weird sisters from that famous play, brewing a broth with a fenny snake fillets. Yes, I think this is just about done, the girl says to nobody in particular. She sets the ladle down, back into the pot, and then looks at you and smiles. Did you want something? It looks as though you've come quite a long way. You must be hungry. Those words are like music to your ears, even more divine than the trumpets of God's most loyal angels. You're so hungry, you could eat a horse. Not that there are any horses in the immediate vicinity. You express your interest to your hostess, who smiles and responds. I thought you liked the sound of that. Just give me a few moments. Your hostess retrieves 2 earthenware bowls from a cupboard with rickety hinges, into which she pours 2 hefty helpings of whatever she's cooking. This she serves with bread, which is so hefty it could be it could be used as a murder weapon. It's not much, I'm afraid. It's only soup and bread. It should take the edge off your appetite, though, and I've been waiting for this. How well? Cubs, you know what to do. Ham smash curators, the hacking hack! Hello, raiders. Hello to you. Hi, welcome on in. You will be heard? Is that a pun? Is that a pun? Is this guy with a pun? Hi to you. Hi, welcome, and welcome, raiders. Hi. My name is Tipanya. I'm a bear cat VTuber. I do the Gao Gao Nyanya, and it's very nice to meet you. I'm so glad I will be heard. I hope that's a good thing. Oh, you're playing Slay the Princess? Oh, I wanted to play it. But I was like, oh, I want to try this game, and then this game, and then this game. How was it? I hope you had a ton of fun. Welcome on in. Welcome. Thank you so very much for the raid. Welcome on in. Hi, Bronze as well. Hi. Welcome. And hi, Comrade. Hi. Welcome on in. Welcome. Baj. Hi. Welcome on in as well. Bearcat Auntia. Welcome. Oh my goodness. Yeah, a pun. Like, you will be heard. Like, you would be heard, like, I don't know, in the group of the herd, or you will be heard like you're listening to me. And I'm like, wow, that's so kind of you. Thank you for lending an ear. It was an experience, brother. Well, welcome. If you guys are looking for a similar experience, right now we're playing It Gets So Lonely here, which is I don't know if Slay the Princess is considered a visual novel, or I mean, I want to say yeah. This is a heavy visual novel, but this is spooky as well. I don't think there's gonna be anything too scary. I'm kind of a baby when it comes to scare, but definitely really unsettling. So if you like that kind of stuff and all that jazz, you cubs are more than welcome to lurk. Sorry, Raiders. Sorry. But yeah, feel free to hang around and lurk. But if you have to go, absolutely no hacking worries. This goes for both Teiyu and the Raiders. Make sure to eat something super duper yummy. Make sure to drink something super super yummy like agua, and make sure to stand up and stretch. It was a visual choose your own adventure. It was a reading out loud practice disguised as a VM. Basically, I feel that. Did you end up killing the princess? I don't know too much of the story. I saw that Tazo was playing it, which I should... Let me give Tazo a shout out really quick. Tazo was playing this recently, and I was just politely lurking because I didn't want to get like too spoiled. Because so for the Cubs who are not as familiar with Slay the Princess, to my understanding, the premise is it's a story about this princess who is imprisoned, and you're there to go kill her because apparently if you don't kill her, she will end the world. And she starts questioning you like, and then to choose your own adventure kind of thing of what you end up deciding doing. But yeah, I haven't really looked into much of it after that, or yeah, after Tazo's stream. But yeah, like I said, I hope you had fun. Right now in our story, we're still relatively at the beginning. We are a girl who got lost in a forest, running away from a girl that I guess we had promised to never be alone. And we're like, yeah, no, that girl's crazy. We're leaving. And we had different options, so we were able to choose between going to a shore, going to a village, or going to a castle. And we ran into this girl, and she may be a gravedigger, and we just don't know quite yet. Welcome. But thank you for not spoiling. Thank you, Yandere and coming. Yeah, basically, I feel like that's the game. Princess in the Slaying therefore has occurred. Oh, thank goodness. Well, like I said, I hope you had fun. Welcome. Alright, we're leaving? Oh, hey, the shovel looks like it could kill someone. Hey, look, it looks like this bread could kill someone. Hey, I think everything is a murder weapon. yeah, exactly. Alright. Please excuse my voice acting, by the way. Oh, it does. It's not much, I'm afraid. She's a country kind of gal. It's only soup and bread. It should take the edge off your appetite, though. Dies. You thank your hostess for her hospitality, your stomach grumbling all the while. The soup does not look like anything you would typically consume, but the soup's poor presentation does not dissuade you. It is true enough that people eat first with their eyes, but when one's hungry enough, one becomes obligated. What is this word? Obligating? I'd have to eat almost anything. Why else do you think the people when stranded upon the desert islands will resort to cannibalism? Wow, nice thought. Weebus like the couple up shares one whole brain cell. Let's go. A blogging? Oh, blogging. Is that it? Yeah. Maybe. Humans are creatures of necessity. You like to wrap yourselves up in pretensions, but in actuality, you are not much better than animals. Oh, okay, thank you. I'm like, the what? Oblong. Like that, oh my gosh. That just unlocked the whole memory. Will I be able to find it? Am I gonna date myself? I don't know. Hold on. There was this old cartoon that used to play called The Oblongs. Like it was a series for sure. I don't really know much of it. Yeah. Hold on. Let me show you a picture of it, Cubs. That was a thing? Yeah, I can't confirm. It definitely was a thing. I just don't know what thing it was. Oh gosh, the image is so big! Fit the screen. Yeah. Like, what? Huh? Obliging. Thank you. Oblongs. And so as you see, that's where my memory went. Anyway, yeah. Back to the game. You're so hungry, your stomach is aching empty, that you certainly descend upon your food like an animal. Your teeth glint, your scissors gleam, and soon you have consumed all that your hostess has offered you.
I've been waiting for this.
I've been waiting for this. Oh my goodness. Hello gamers as well. Hi. Welcome. Five Nights at Freddy here? How was your Five Nights at Freddy's? I saw your post and you went live and you're like, yeah, I don't have the game downloaded. I'm like, brother. Well, hi, Artie. Hi. Welcome, Raiders. Hi. Welcome. I hope you had a super duper good stream. Sorry, I read your message. Stream. I hope you had a good stream. I'm so sorry that you ended up screaming. Find Nights at Freddy's spooky game. I didn't want to download. I didn't want to download. I was like, oh yeah, I wouldn't have downloaded it either. But it sounds like you had a really good time. Thank you so very much for the raid. Welcome, Artie. Welcome, Raiders. My name is Tipanya, Bearcat VTuber. I do the cow and it's very nice to meet you. Oh my goodness. Hi, Rainy. Hi. Hi, Trix. Hi. Thank you for the self-care checks. Give me just one whole hecky moment. Hi, Rip again. Hi. Welcome on in. Welcome. Let me go ahead and do this. Ta-da. Hi, Rip. Hi, Vittori. Hi. I love Glamour Freddy raid. Oh my goodness. Hey, you know, Freddy's a good character. I wouldn't be mad. I would be mad if you didn't like him. Hi, Rip. Hi again. Welcome on in. Welcome. Alright, I do my posture check. I uncross my legs. I hydrate. And I breathe. Welcome, Raiders. We're playing It Gets So Lonely here. Point right, point left emoji. I didn't realize this game came out a few months ago, and then I saw that knew I had played it. Rip had apparently played it. Rip, did you get this path, by the way? She's so cute. Not to self-insert, by the way. But Takuni had like made this like, oh, if I squint. Well, they didn't say if I squint, but I said if I squinted. It looks just like me, for real. Yep, here's me squinting. I can't believe I'm in a video game. But yeah, it's a horror yuri visual novel. So feel free to join in. We're still at the very beginning. We kind of just ran in the forest, running away from God knows what. We got into an empty forest and we met this girl and she's feeding us food. So ta-da! Her. I can't even make the noise. Her. I can't do it. Her. No, I can't say the Five Nights at Freddy thing. I don't know. I'm not going the same tone. I'm not a singer. I'm toned. Anyway. Huh? Rosa Sipa, when do you have a game made about you? Oh, brother, I can't wait to keep self-inserting myself as this character. Whoa, why is there 2 tips on the screen? Double vision, let's go. 3 actually? Well, actually 4. I'm getting a little self-centered, as you can tell. And oh my goodness, Nelly, hi! Happy belated anniversary! Welcome on in! I hope your streaming anniversary, which it might have been 500 years ago at this point, but I'm still pretty sure it's pretty recent. I went super well! Oh my goodness, hecking congratulations on making it to a landmark, oh my goodness. But yeah, oh goodness, sorry. Yes, Raiders, Artie, everyone, thank you so much again for the raid. You're more than welcome to look again. Our story is gonna be like, hopefully we don't die. But definitely eat something super yummy if you're hungry. Definitely do hydrate, definitely do stretch. I know it's a little bit, excuse me, late for you, but it's also Halloween, so I don't know if you have any more Halloween spooky plans. But whatever the heck you do, please enjoy. Have a happy Halloween and thank you again. Thank you. And no problem, comrade. No problem. Please have a good one. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate ya. This game again is free, so if any cup wants to play it, you're more than welcome to play it at your own time, at your own pace. And I understand avoiding spoilers, so teehee. Despite making fun of the game, I really dig the art style. Yeah, no, the art style is really cute. I like it, and I like how they colored it. So teehee. Will do. Beautiful. Chef kiss. Mwah. Please have a good one. Love life. Your hostess watches you while you eat, and she giggles once you've finished. Did you enjoy that? Oh, you catch your hostess's gaze, suddenly abashed. You were so hungry you failed to account for her judgment. Now that you have some food in your belly, though, you've been suitably warmed. Your old self-consciousness is returning. Did you not make a fool of yourself yet? You're demure, shyly looking at your lap, fearful all the while of what your hostess might think of you. You do not want her to take against you. Fortunately for you, however, and for your fragile ego, your hostess is not of the judgmental sort. She's not like the girls you grew up with. Oh, that's so sad. This art style probably tastes like mint ice cream. I can see that. Blech. Mint ice cream? Gross. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. It's nice to see my food being appreciated so heartily. I know I'm not the best. I've been practicing for a while. I used to cook for my father all the time, you see. This remark catches your attention. Quizzically, you look at your hostess, your bashment over your animalistic eating habits suspended. What happened to her father? It seems a grim thing to contemplate after eating, but didn't your hostess mention something about a plague? Yes, your hostess says with her voice soft now and serious. That's right, there was a plague. And what of the villagers? What of her father? They're all gone now. Gone? Yeah, you see. Your hostess rearranges herself upon her chair, one slender leg voted over the other. Yeah, I'm sorry, it tastes like toothpaste. Then she begins her tale in earnest. Oh, okay, we got lore background. Let's go. Background music. My family has a history. We've been living here for centuries by the church so we can tend to the graveyard. Ha, so this abode is centuries old then. It would certainly explain the dirt. My father used to prepare bodies for burial. Back when he was alive, he built the coffins, he dug the graves, and he lowered the coffins into the dirt. I know it might sound like an awful job, but somebody's gotta do it. There's no sense averting our eyes from death, not when it happens to the best of us. It's a noble profession, one that's been handed down in our family for generations. My father's father was a gravedigger, and so was my father's father's father, and then my father's 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 father. Digging graves is in our blood. It's who we are. My. That was a surprisingly pretty speech coming from a girl who lives in the countryside, a girl who is without much of the way of education. It is apparent, just to listen to her and the way she slurs her syllables together, that she's never had any elocution lessons. Not like you. Okay. You don't need to show off our enunciations. So many fathers. So many. There is a determination, however, to her, and a pride in her genealogy that gives her a respectable aura. You cannot help but be impressed. So you ask your hostess, does that make her one in a long line of gravediggers? Yes. Your hostess, the gravedigger, says, that's about right, though I'm never supposed to be a gravedigger myself. It's not a woman's profession. That's what everybody else says. My father didn't mind that though. He taught me everything I knew and then some. I might be a woman, but I have plenty of upper body strength. I could dig a grave just as well as my father could without breaking a sweat. Gotta head to bed? Yeah, no, absolutely no hecking worries. Please have a great rest of your time. Have a good night and the sweetest of dreams. Thank you again so much for the raid. Hopefully, yeah, again, sweet dreams after spookiness. But thank you. I will have the spookiest Halloween. I will try not to die. Smile. Yeah. Enunciator, enunciation auspiciously. Yay! Doesn't have eloquation? Wait, don't bring these words up to me. Artie says, very happy I can send my folks here. Thank you. No, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Please have a good one. Good night. Thanks, energy. Huh? To the despair of my mother up in heaven, I'm sure. If she were still alive, she'd rather I focus on more feminine pursuits like basket weaving or sewing to better attract a suitor. Not that it would do much good now. There's nobody around to court me, not for miles and miles. And what happened to her mother? She died when I was very young during childbirth. I was only 5 years old. Oh, well, you can relate to her at least upon this point. Your parents are not dead, at least as far as you are aware of, but you have not seen them in an awfully long time. They sent you away as soon as you were old enough, and they never once bothered to check upon you. For many years there have been no letters nor any visits. You offer the gravedigger your condolence. You do not know if they will help, but you feel like you cannot say nothing. That would seem heartless. The gravedigger, however, does not seem too upset by this turn of events, because she smiles, albeit somberly. Somberly? It's alright, it was ages ago. I don't remember her too well, and I never really had the luxury of sitting around feeling sorry for myself. I had too much work to do. Around the house, you ask? That too. I was the oldest child, so it was my job after my mother died to manage the sweeping and the cooking. Oh, and looking after all my siblings too. You blinked, intrigued, and then glanced about your hostess's humble lodgings. You do not see any siblings in the immediate vicinity. Where could they be? The gravedigger must have noticed your rolling eyes. You're not exactly being subtle, because she shakes her head. I had siblings. 2 younger brothers, and they're both gone now. Oh. I like these very quick. Oh. Hi, TW. Hi. Welcome. Hello. Welcome in. You should have known. You apologize to the gravedigger for your lack of tact, but she does not seem upset by this fox pause? Oh goodness, this is like a common saying I don't even know how to say it. It's like your taboo, you know? Don't apologize. It's not your fault. My brothers weren't long for this world anyway. The youngest, he died when he was still a babe, and the oldest, he died before he reached double digits. I was upset about it at the time, of course, but I've come to terms with it. Life's a fleeting thing in this wicked old world. That's something you learn in this trade, digging graves, I mean. I've dug graves for the elderly and the infirm, but I've also dug graves for the young babes still in their swaddling clothes. That's the nature of death. It comes for us all in the end. No matter how old we are, no matter how much money we have, no matter how good or bad we've been. It's a great equalizer. Or so I've heard. A chill creeps down your spine as you listen to your hostess's speech. She is not wrong, but the inherent mortality of all humankind is not something you wish to contemplate. It is too disturbing. For the longest times, my family was a small one. It was just my father and me, but that's fine. It was how I liked it. I was very happy, even if our lives weren't the best. I've never had any fancy clothes to wear, and we can't dine on the finest of foods. In the grand scheme of things, we ain't anything that special, but I've always felt otherwise. I thought I was blessed. We knew hardships, of course, and famine, but that's just the way life is around here. When food supplies were low, we always helped one another out. I had my father, but I also had the rest of the village. We all looked after one another, and things always worked out in the end. At least they did. Hi, Pals! Hi! Welcome on in! Welcome! She's so real, for real? Yeah, she's a little too real right now. Welcome on in, welcome. Until the plague happened. Yeah, no problem. She had mentioned a plague, and you've been wondering when she was going to return to that topic. You suppose that the plague is the reason that the village, as you traversed it, is so very empty? You suppose that, right? The plague tore through the village. I don't remember when. It feels like it was a while ago, but maybe it wasn't all that long after all? It feels like I've been on my own for centuries, but... Your hostess's eyes begin to cloud over. She looks as though she's entrenched with her own memories. What could she be remembering? You have never seen a plague before, though you have heard of them in your history lessons. Your history professor was quite enthusiastic about the subject. She talked about piles of dead bodies stacked upon the streets, and stacked up in the wooden carts coming to take them away, with no shortage of Sure. She was a strange woman, your history professor. Her fashion's on point though? It is on point! She's so good! She doesn't even have her little hoodie, but she's so fashionable. The plague came very suddenly. There was no warning. One day, everyone was fine, and then the next... They were all dead. It is with no small amount of anxiety that you eye the gravedigger. Then you ask worryingly, surely they could have not all died. Is that not an exaggeration? Oh, if only. I wish I was exaggerating, but it's the truth, honest to God. The people in the village died one after the other, just like that. I saw what the plague does to people firsthand. My father was one of the first people who caught it. I think one of the bodies which came through that we buried must have had it. Not that I know for certain, I'm just guessing. Still. My father didn't have an easy time of it. His skin turned all gray and clammy, and he complained of a horrible fever. Then there were night sweats and stomach cramps. And then there were the boils. The boils? Oh gosh, they're getting the Theosaurus out. Hi, Jillian. Hi. Weave says her clothes remind me of one of those plague doctors in the Darkest Dungeon. Oh, I'm not so familiar with Darkest Dungeon, but again, super fashionable. Really do like the green. Pustules, yeah. They were the size of eggs and they were full of pus. When they burst, excuse me, I bursted. Hold on. Excuse me for the burp. When they burst, it stunk. The whole house was full of it. The stink of death. I think it's just, think of like a boil, you know? Like a big pimple that has yellow and, you know, like when you pop it and it has all that white stuff, that's the pus. Yeah. Oh, no problem, Tate. No problem. I forget not everyone's an EST. No! But please have a good one. Do take care. Thank you so much for the raid from earlier. I appreciate you very much. Please have a good night and sweetest of dreams, and thank you again. I'll catch you next time, okay? And happy Halloween! The wise woman of the village came to see if they could be of any use, but it was no good. My father was far too gone already. She took one look at him, lying on his deathbed, and she shook her head. She said she didn't want to get any closer. I can't say I blame her. It was a ghastly sight. I didn't appreciate it at the time, though. It felt like she was just turning her back on us. I wish her ill. I remember that after she left. Until a few days passed and she fell sick too. Then I felt bad for cursing her. I couldn't help but worry if it was all my fault. It's silly, I know, but... The gravedigger closes her eyes. She seemed to squeeze her lids together until her lashes melt like flecks of fallen snow. Her shoulders, which were very slender, are shaking. She looks as though she might at any moment fall apart. It wasn't long after that the rest of the village fell ill, and in all the same symptoms as my father, the clammy skin, and the fevers, and then the boils. The boils grew, and then they burst, and then they died in screaming, stinking agony. My father died too, only 3 days after he fell ill, but I think even that was 3 days too many. I didn't want my father to die, of course. I did everything I could to help him, but it was all pointless. None of my herbal salves had any impact. I couldn't make a blind bit of difference. All I did was stand on his bedside, telling him that it'd be alright, until his eyes sank into his skull like 2 black stones and his mouth dried out. During that last day before he died, he might have been a corpse already. He didn't look at me, he didn't speak to me, he just laid in bed with his eyes closed, groaning. I never wished any ill on my father before, but during those moments, The gravedigger squeezes her hand, which are resting upon her black-clad lap, into fists. She trembles. Then, in a voice dropping with awful emotion, she says, "I'd wish he just died!" Well, based on her antidote, it does not sound like she had an overly long wait. I wonder if she would consider that a silver lining. No, perhaps not. The gravedigger is still shaking. She will not cry, will she? You hope not. What kind of main character are we, first of all? Is she gonna cry over her father's death? God, I hope not. No way. Awkwardly, you look at the gravedigger. You're not sure how to soothe her, but you know you must make some sort of effort, even if it is a token one. You shift upon your chair, which feels very cold and hard beneath your thighs. Then you say very softly that you are sorry. It is not much, but that's all you can think of saying. You had thought initially that your situation was comparable to that of the gravedigger, but now you can see that this is not the case. Her suffering has far outstripped your own. Not that suffering's a competition, of course. Wow, Tippa, wow. Weak? Yeah, this person's crying. Yeah, can you get me out of here? Yeah, it looks like she's about to cry. Let's leave. She's having a full-blown emotional meltdown. There's just hoping she's not crying. Yeah, exactly. Like, awkward. Your apology feels inadequate to your ears, largely because it is, but the gravedigger seems not to mind it. She's very big-hearted, that girl, to smile at you, so no matter how foolish you might be, do you really deserve such kindness? Oh, again with the apologies. It's alright. Like I said, you didn't cause any of this. I'm not upset at you. I'm just recounting what happened is all. I do wonder though, why I've never felt sick myself. I thought I was gonna die, so I was already prepared for the Reaper to come and take me away. But maybe he wasn't interested. Maybe he already satiated his appetite on all the others. That, or maybe he thought he'd have to leave me alive for practicality's sake. With my father gone, who else would tend to the dead? I was the only person left by the end of it all, so I had to bury the people in the village. They're all resting peacefully now under the earth where the plague can't reach them. On the other hand, I'm happy for them. They were able to escape from all their suffering. When I think about all the people I lost, though... The gravedigger tenses. Then she sniffs. When I think about the kindly washerwoman who helped me scrub the mud and dirt from my clothes. Aha! So this village did have their fair share of washerwomen after all. It would seem like your earlier insistence upon this particular point was not without merit. Get me out of here. It's so funny. And the handsome young farmhands who used to flirt with me. The priest who preached at the church who told us all wonderful tales of paradise. And the children who would skip stones on the lake and play hopscotch in the streets. I can't help but feel so lonely. The gravedigger's eyes begin to shine, but when she has finished her address with tears, she does not let them fall. She's being very brave, much more than you are. Anxiously, you extend a hand towards her, meaning to... What? Give her a hug? Brother, we have the option to give her a hug? Save. You do not know her well enough. Pat her head? That would be Yeah, sorry, because you can't pet my head. It would be infantilizing. Squeeze her hand? Perhaps that could be misconstrued as a romantic overtune that will be the last thing you want. No! Cuckoo caca! You endured more than your fair share of teasing over that. You sit there for a few moments, paralyzed by indecision, as though the gravediggers poorly suppressed her sniffles. In the end, you let your arm drop back to your side, your hand rests upon your lap, as useful as a damp kindling. You do not know what you want to do with it. You do know that you ought to say something though to show that you heard her plight and that you do care. You do not know what this something should be, however. No words could ever console the gravedigger. They would never be enough. They can offer some balm, however, to the bereaved, and so, after a pause just long enough to be awkward, you offer your condolence. What else could you say? Oh no, the gravedigger replies, wiping a few stray tears away from the back of her arm. It's alright. I've grown used to it, really. Being on my own, I mean. It ain't so bad, really. And I'm not alone now, at least. I've met you, and you'll keep me company, won't ya? Well, what can you say to that? You aren't callous enough to be trampled into this poor girl's hopes, are ya? You know full well yourself how awful that feels. You can do nothing but nod. A response just makes a girl smile more widely still. Ah, that's wonderful! I know you're just a traveler who's passing through, but I can offer you bread and board until you leave. I have food enough and a spare bedroom. I can make up for you right now. You must be tired after your long journey. Just Just give me a moment. The gravedigger rises to her feet in a flurry of excitement and then retreats. You watch as she departs, a little too eager to please and frown. Excuse me. The girl's home is a small, humble one with a low ceiling and slanted walls. You cannot imagine such a small, dwindling possession. Wait. You cannot imagine a small dwelling possessing a spare bedroom. The so-called spare bedroom is, in all likelihood, the room her father slept in before the plague carried himself off. You do not think that you would much like to spend the night in the room of a dead man, but what choice do you have? You are tired, wretchedly so. Why, it is all you can do to keep your eyes open. While you were running through the forest, desperate to escape your pursuer, you had no thought in your mind beyond finding some safe sanctuary in which you can recuperate. Hi Julie, hey hi, welcome on in, welcome. Hold on. Hi, welcome. I hope you're well. Happy Halloween. I hope you've been getting a ton of candy and you dressed up for work today. As a mouse, or whatever you want to dress up as, I suppose. I think it's very fun when you're able to dress up, you know? Now that you found said sanctuary, it would be unreasonable to find faults with it. You ought to learn to be more thankful for what you have. There are many, many people in this world with less. You rise and follow the gravedigger. Once she has finished her preparations to the so-called spare bedroom, which is every bit as cramped as you feared it would be. At least there's a bed, which comes as something as a relief. The rest of the lodgings are so humble that you were half expecting a straw pallet. As tired as you may be, you cannot lie to yourself. You have no desire to sleep among the hay like an animal. The sheets of the bed are clean too, a fact that you discern with a curious glance. Huh? You're on candy duty? I want to be on candy duty, but I said heck, I was going to be streaming. So I put a table outside full of candy, so I hope the kids take it. Hopefully, gosh, I hope the ants haven't ate it. Anyway. Julian says, you know what's wild to me? The plagues killed so many people, and it turns out washing your hands and not drinking toilet water goes a long way towards a long, healthy life? Oh, brother, you know, honestly, it's crazy to think about the hygiene and all that stuff. I saw like a silly, maybe slightly inappropriate meme about hygiene, I suppose. Oh no, thank you. Thank you for counting. And it was just the idea of like, yeah, it's gross. There's a manhwa I think that's out there right now, and it's all about hygiene, where this person goes back in time, and you think it's very romantic because I think she's like a princess or something, and she, you know, you think, oh my gosh, she lives a life of luxury, she's a princess, blah 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 blah. She's like, everyone hecking stinks. Everyone stinks so much, and blah 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 blah. I'm so sick, and I wonder if I can find it. I think the manga or manhwa is like, take a bath with me. Take a bath with me, manhwa. Yeah, let's take a bath together, Duke. Here, I just link you here. Eh? Someone didn't learn how to sleep on the floor. I know, right, brother? Chewing on the tree bars? Me trying my best to resist? You can eat them if there's leftovers, and only leftovers. What a premise. It's actually a pretty good read. I haven't caught up to it 100% emoji, but I did enjoy the little bit that I had. But yeah, she's just like, yeah, this is so gross. It stinks, it smells, and I hate it here. And I'm like, yeah. Oh my goodness. The Roman bath anime? Oh no, this one's different. Yeah. So I tabbed over as well. Trey, I see your candy bowl. You have Pokemon trading cards? You know how exciting those kids are gonna be? That's so cute. Oh my goodness. And I was thinking of giving these kids a potato. You've exceeded all expectations by giving them actual Pokemon cards. Anyway. The art's good. Anyway. So you will not be expected to sleep upon the sweat-soaked linen of a plague-ridden man after all. This really is your lucky day. You're gonna be the swaggiest house? Gosh, I want to be the swaggiest house. I was gonna dress up in a onesie and be like, Happy Halloween! And like, I was gonna have like too much energy, you know what I mean? Hi. Oh my goodness, I'm so digesting today. Sorry. But I hope the kids like it. I hope you have a blast. I want to be on Candy Baby. We have to speed run this thing. Okay, lady, just kill me. I get it. Alright, I got you this too. The gravedigger says somewhat shyly as she hands you a folded gown to sleep in. I thought it might come in handy. Your own clothes are a little shabby. She could say that again. Your skirt is covered in mud and the hem is torn and ragged. This nightgown is one of my old ones, so it suffered a bit of wear and tear, but I hope it'll fit alright. It's clean if nothing else. You accept the nightgown from your benefactress with words of thanks. You want to sound appropriately appreciative, but you cannot mask your fatigue. Weariness overcomes you and you yawn, a fact that the gravedigger does not fail to notice. Oh, begging your pardon, I don't want to keep you. I'll be making myself scarce. If you need anything though, don't hesitate to ask. I'll be happy to help. The gravedigger bows her head to you like a drudge, and then hurries off, closing the door behind her with a thud. Tired though as you are, you soon find that you rather miss your hostess's company. In the face of her good-natured smiles, you almost forgot all the hardships that you had endured. In her absence, however, your lodgings feel almost unbearably cold and unhospitable. You suppress a shudder and then uncloth yourself. You work as quickly as you were able, but your fingers are cold and they fumble with the buttons of the blouse. It takes you more time than you would like to complete this endeavor, but you soon have your shirt and your skirt dispensed with. You are too tired to fold them neatly. You do not bother to fold them at all. Instead, you cast them carelessly upon the floor as defiant as a sulky child, and then pull on your new nightgown. Your hostess's earlier warnings were apt enough. It is quite worn, but it fits well enough. It's more comfortable at least than your old uniform. You have endured worse. Newly dressed and ready for bed, you loosen your hair from your braids and settled among the sheets. It is with a sigh you extinguish the weakly flickering candlelight which burns along your bedside, and with another sigh, you lay your head down upon your pillow. Though physically exhausted, you have to wonder whether you'll be able to sleep at all. You can recall your previous dash through the forest in such vivid detail that your heart is still pounding. That fear has yet to leave you. Perhaps it never will leave you. Your terror was such. It feels like as though it's infused itself into your bones, into your very being. But your exhaustion is greater than your worldly anxieties, and soon it claims you. Your eyelids fall shut and your breathing inevitably begins to even out. It is not long until you're spiraling through a dark, dark abyss, lost in Morpheus's kingdom. Where are we? Such a wayward words, thank you. Wave says no one knocks on our doors here on Halloween, only in shops and restaurants. I'll never give out the lemon candy away. It's okay, you can give it out to yourselves, or your coworkers, or your friends when you see them. What a way to say you fell asleep. Brother, I know. See. But your sleep, despite your weird state, is not as restorative as you had hoped. Your imagination has been always overactive. Even at the most conservatory, you are frequently beset by dreams of the most vivid nature. The dreams you have tonight, lying beneath unfamiliar sheets upon an unfamiliar bed, are no less intense than usual. In your dreams, you are back at the conservatory, the place where this adventure of yours began. You are wearing the crisp white blouse that you once discarded and your gray, unremarkable skirt. Your hair is tied in braids. Your eyes are downturned, forever focused upon your feet. You try not to look at your classmates, and you thought yourself fortunate they did not look at you in return. You did not want anybody to notice you, until that awful winter, that is, where everybody stopped paying attention to you for good. Nobody tried to trip you when you walked past them in the hallways. Nobody, in fact, so much glanced at you. all of a sudden, there were no malicious whispers, no wicked laughter, no pulled hair, no thrown objects. You were giddy with relief at first over this newfound means of tormenting you that your classmates had devised. But this little game, that of complete and utter disregard, continued on and on and on, and as the days grew shorter and the nights grew longer, as the time passed, you began to fret as the state of your own corporal reality. Could anybody still see you? Did you even exist at all? Then, at long last, you found it, quite by accident, the source of all your woes. One of the girls had erected it in the forest through which you were sometimes bidden to a jog for PE class, beneath the shade casted by an old oak tree. It was a makeshift tombstone, a small meager monument made of stone upon which of your classmates had hewed a name. Your name. You knew at once as you stood there, standing beneath the shade of the ancient tree, that there was a reason behind your classmates' silence. This was why they had for many months began ignoring you so assiduously. They had buried you. In their hearts you had already died. What? Your eerie dreams notwithstanding, you slept more comfortably than you had anticipated. Brother, am I dead? Huh? Rebel says it's 30 minutes to midnight and no one has knocked on my door, and I brought all this candy for naught? Yeah, you gotta eat it for yourself. What a twist! Wait, sorry, maybe you're talking about the story. Never mind. Yeah, sorry, you gotta just eat them all for yourself. Come in, sorry, but it's okay. That's not too bad. You have candy that lasts you for the rest of the year, probably. Nom. When you awake the following morning to the sweet chirping of birdsong, you feel well rested, albeit a little woozy. Your head is aching. It is nothing, however, that a cup of hot tea cannot fix. You stumble into the kitchen into your nightclothes, your hair loose and your feet bare, and the gravedigger turns to you. She looks at your face. Sorry, I had to finish that. Which is pasty, and your under eyes, which are dark, and exclaims in the manner one accustomed to solving problems, not complaining about them. Oh, you look awful. I think you need something warm to drink, and maybe you need something to eat too. Let me get started on breakfast. And that's exactly what she does. She gets started on breakfast, which proves to be quite the simple affair, nothing like the luxurious food that you were accustomed to in your past life. The bread is hard enough to break your teeth on, and the cheese is a little bit too strong. It is food all the same though, and you do not complain. Your stomach was beginning to grumble. The tea is not offensive at least, and you drink it gratefully. You thank the gravedigger girl for her hospitality, and she smiles at you in return, a smile, a sunny smile like a field of blooming bellflowers. It's no problem. Don't hesitate to ask me if you need anything else, she says, words which comes to symbolize your relationship. You stay with the gravedigger for many, many more days, and limited though what her means might be, she always tries to help you. The gravedigger sets you chores around the house to keep you occupied, a fact in which you're grateful for. You need to do something to keep your mind off your frantic flight through the forest. You can almost forget about it now during the day. During the night, however, it returns to you, the sound of your feet against the foliage, oh my goodness, and the swirling fog. When you sleep, you are assailed by nightmares. Sometimes you wake up after midnight, the sheets twisted around your body and your mouth gaping open in of terror. Though you try to tell yourself otherwise, you are still afraid. Being with the gravedigger makes you feel less so though, particularly when you're sweeping the floors or keeping an eye on the bread loaves so they don't turn burnt. You tend to most of the domestic chores while the gravedigger concerns herself with the work she knows best, and that is digging graves. Her dogged persistence when it comes to this pursuit intrigues you, so much so that you cannot help but possess a question to her on one particular morning when the sky is festooned with clouds. Why, you ask her, perhaps a touch insensitively, do you continue to dig graves? There's nobody left after all to dig them for. Oh my goodness, where's my reading? You've always been practical and you cannot see the point in it. What's the point in it? The gravedigger ponders while holding her precious shovel to her chest. Fortunately, she does not seem upset by her question despite its bluntness. You should count yourself lucky, for her temperament is so very placid. I don't suppose there's really any point to it, the gravedigger eventually says with a small smile. I know it doesn't have any particular purpose, but... well... digging graves is what my father did. He showed me how to do it so I could continue his legacy. My father wanted to keep our family tradition going, and I suppose I wanted to do the same. That's all there is to it, really. That's all there is? You'd think you could understand that. Though your companion's actions might appear to be illogical, there's a kernel of reason nestled amongst them. She does not dig graves out of the sense of purpose, she does it instead out of sentiment. Besides, I have something to do to keep myself busy, don't I? If I spend my days idling all to myself, I think I'd go mad. The gravedigger laughs at this time, as though the prospect of her own madness is amusing. Her laugh, despite her slender stature, is not particularly delicate. Oh, ho, ho, ho. It reminds you perhaps unkindly of a braying of a horse. You are ashamed of thinking such a thing, though, and your face flushes with the guilt of it. We cannot be all well-bred young ladies, you know. Still... the laughter of the gravedigger as it echoes through a gray, gloomy sky is strangely desperate. It sounds forced. Her smile, too, is a touch unnatural. You find, despite your attempts to return her laughter with a polite giggle, that you cannot help but pity her. Brother, when am I gonna get a choice in the story? I'm so scared. Love a genuine laugh? Never mind. Anyway, you retreat indoors briefly after your talk with the gravedigger. Then sit upon some simple chores. The gravedigger trusts you well enough to manage sweeping the floor, a task that does not particularly take too long, and the preparing of meals, a task which takes slightly longer. This is actually a walkthrough? Brother. It is not until much later, however, once the sun has already sunk beneath the horizon and the moon is high in the sky, that the gravedigger returns from the outdoors. Oh my goodness. I keep burping! You're having fun. As long as you're having fun. I can't believe I said this word 11 times today. Or at least 11 times that it's been caught. Aye. She is windswept after many hours spent exposed to the elements, and there's dirt caked beneath her fingernails. The gravedigger removes her cloak, which she hangs by the door, and then she looks to the pot suspended over the fire, a fire which you stoked with your own fair hands. The scent of cooking food, that of garlic and onions, fill the air, suffusing the interior of the kitchen in a homey aroma which makes your stomach rumble. Taking stock of this, the gravedigger smiles at you. A toothy smile, which, despite her status as a loathly pleasant, is surprisingly clean and bright and white. Thank you so much, dear one. There's nothing like returning home after a hard day's work to find dinner already prepared. Now, let me give it a test. The gravedigger dips a spoon into the soup, then brings it to her lips. She blows on it. Then she places her spoon into her mouth, the wooden utensil clacking against her teeth. Clack, clack. You observe this with a touch of anxiety. Will she like the food which you have prepared for her? You have cooked for her before in the past, and she always was very complimentary of your efforts. Cooking is not your forte, however. You never had to concern yourself with it really growing up in the relative comfort as you did. You think that you enjoy this rural rustic mode of existence more than you did any privileges in your past life. At least now with the gravedigger, you have a steadfast friend, a staunch ally. When you are with her, you are not alone, and that is worth its weight in gold. The gravedigger exclaims after drawing the spoon from her lips. Her smile, a bright, guileless one. It's delicious! Your face flushes at this compliment. You are unaccustomed to receiving them, and it makes you feel good. Shyly, you ask the gravedigger if she truly means that, a query which makes the gravedigger smile. Of course I mean it. You've become quite good at cooking. Really? Oh, that's a relief. You were not very good at all this cookie malarkey in the beginning. You did not know how to handle a knife, nor did you know how to peel a vegetable, and you cut yourself more than once. You bled into the soup on several occasions, but never once did you throw this sully soup out. The gravedigger lived a humble existence, and she cannot afford to waste her precious ingredients. Your soups during your stays have all been seasoned with the slightest hint of iron. Today's soup, however, is marked steep above the rest. You did not cut yourself with the knife, not even once. Maybe your companion's compliments are not empty fluff. Maybe you really are improving. Cute. Weeps is kind of unrelated, but ink looks kind of cool. I always find them kind of both stylish and practical. Such a good piece of clothing. I think they're very neat. I think you can get away with wearing cloaks, or I guess ponchos are pretty normal quotation marks, you know? You can get away with it. Start wearing it daily. Bring it back to fashion. The soup should be ready to serve. I have some bread too that we can eat with it. But let me brew some tea with it too. Let me. Oh my goodness. I need a burp counter now today. Hold on. Alright. Yes, the tea. You knew you were forgetting something. You were so focused on the soup that it must have slipped your mind. Your face flushes yet again at this oversight, and shyly you offer to correct it. The gravedigger, however, waves your request aside. No, it's alright. And you made the dinner, so I'll brew the tea. It's only fair, and it won't take all that long. Would you mind serving up the soup while I'm busy? Of course you would not mind. You do enjoy making yourself useful. For a lady, you are awfully domestic. You work alongside the grave digger to finish your nightly meal, and together you serve it. Soup and bread along 2 cups of piping hot tea prepared for your hostess by your own 2 hands. You sit together at the table and then partake in the simple fare after saying grace. The soup is really quite good despite it being made from only the most commonplace of ingredients. There's a bit of a kick to it, and it warms you from the inside out. The tea, meanwhile, is very soothing, so much so it makes you feel rather sleepy. You would like to sit with the gravedigger a little while longer and tell stories, as you have sometimes in the past, or, play cards. The nights are long and there's no better way to pass them than spending time with her. Games of old maid, alas, will have to wait. You're just too tired for it. You do not know what has happened, but after consuming the victuals, you feel utterly fatigued. You explain your predicament to the gravedigger between your yawns, and she nods in response. That's alright. You don't need to stay up with me. Not if you ain't up to it. You should head off to bed and rest that pretty head of yours. You do not think you're particularly pretty, but you presume that gravedigger is just regurgitating a phrase to you. She does not truly mean it. How could she? She is far prettier than you are. You thank the gravedigger for her understanding and then rise from the table. Thank you, Pata. Thank you for that contribution to karaoke. Thank you. You retreat to a spare bedroom on trembling legs and then change out of your clothes. You have only just slid into your nightgown when you hear the rapping of knuckles upon your door, light and unobtrusive. This rapping could, of course, belong to one person. It is the gravedigger coming to check up on you. I'm sorry, the gravedigger says, her voice soft, but you rushed to your room, so after eating I couldn't help but worry about ya. Would you mind if I took a look at you? I just want to see if you're alright. The gravedigger's trying to keep her voice steady, but you can hear it waving regardless. She really does sound concerned, so much so that she could be very well on the brink of tears. You do not want her to cry for you. You'd feel horribly guilty if you upset her, even inadvertently, given all that she's done for you. Oh, hold on. Sorry. Sorry, if the music was good, I'm sorry. I might have messed it up. I was like, oh, is it too long? I don't know. And so I raised it up a little bit because I got self-conscious. Anyway. You bid the gravedigger entry into your room. Therefore, without further delay, an invitation she hastens to take. door swings inwards with a creak, and there your hostess stands, still attired in black, her clothes a stark contrast to your pure white, well, off-white, nightgown. The gravedigger looks at you seated in bed with your hair freed from your usual braids, and exhales. Oh my goodness. Is that relief, you wonder? Playing about her face? But why? What was she expecting to see exactly before entering your bedchamber? Thank you for letting me in, the gravedigger says, toying with her fingers. How do you feel? Not too terrible, you reassure her, but there's no particular problems with your health. You just feel tired. Are you sure you're not sick? Your face does look a little pale. That would be nothing out of the norm. You're always pale. True. Now, is there anything else I could do for you? Would you like something warm to drink or maybe a hot brick to place by your bed? It should keep you warm. You appreciate your hostess's thoughtfulness, but you reassure her that won't be necessary. You will be fine. I hope so. I thought that about my father too before he... The gravedigger begins and her voice soon trails off. She does not finish that thought. She does not need to. You know now what she was thinking of before she entered the bedroom. Cold, clammy skin, a sweating brow, rank oozing puslets. You think upon these symptoms which are eerily similar to those we encountered during the Great Plague which once besieged your own country, and you shudder. If you don't want anything, then I'll be on my way. But before that... Before that? This was just a fancy on my part, but I was wondering, would you mind if I brush your hair for a little while? Your hair? That's right. It's such a pretty shade of red is all, and I just thought, well, it's just a fancy, really. You don't have to let me. It's not like if you don't want to, but I thought it might help you relax if you're feeling under the weather. I heard it's supposed to be soothing. That is what the gravedigger says, but you have a distinct feeling that she is the one looking for solace here. She's not quite so selfless, perhaps she's not quite so selfless perhaps as she would like you to think. But she has been so very good to you, and has done so much for you that you do not want to begrudge her this small self-indulgence. You rather think she deserves it. Yeah, you deserve to brush my hair. Yeah, you can. Yeah, sure. Lolo, thank you so very much for the contribution as well. Thank you. Axe Services gang are having a field day? Brother, we're eating very well today. You're cooking for me? Great! You want to brush my hair? Wonderful! You're checking up on me? Pog. Just a little brush. Nice. You agree, therefore, to her request, and upon doing so, you are certain that you've made the right choice. Your hostess's face lights up immediately, in a manner which makes you blush. Oh, thank you, it'd be my honor. Now, let me fetch my brush. There's some water too, oh my goodness. The gravedigger retreats from your room in a hurry, but returns soon therefore, holding in her right hand the promised brush. The artifact acquired, the gravedigger then settles herself upon your bed at your side. She looks at your hair for just a few moments, her expression pensive. Then she announces that she will begin. How formal! Oh my goodness so much, thank you so very much for the contribution to karaoke as well. We already hit 46k. If we can hit 50k, then we're already at 1/3 of the way there. Isn't that crazy? My gosh. Anyway, excuse me. She will now brush. She leans in. The wooden frame of the bed creaks under her weight, a creak which melds with the sighing and the breeze outdoors. You can feel the bristles of the brush rushing through your hair. I'm not reading that right. It is soothing enough, so much so that it makes you shiver. The sensation's a pleasant one and somewhat nostalgic. Did your mother do this for you, you wonder, when you were a little girl? If she did, it must have been when you were a very little girl. You have not seen your mother in quite some time, not after you enrolled at the conservatory. Oh, you have such lovely hair, dear one. It is soft just like silk, not like mine at all. Mine is so coarse. This gentle voice draws you out of your vague, half-formed reminiscence. It sounds as though the gravedigger's lost in nostalgia of her own because of her voice. When next she speaks is dreamy. I think my mother used to brush my hair like this for me back when she was still alive. This must have been a long time ago, though. It's funny you think as the bristles of the brush continue to slide through your tresses, and that you and the gravedigger should both be reminiscing in tandem about your respective mothers. Perhaps there is something material in the act of brushing one's hair which is wont to summon forth such images. I would not know personally. I cannot remember my own mother after all. I don't think I liked having my hair brushed very much, the gravedigger continues, her breath warm against the exposed nape of your neck. My mother used to compliment that I squirmed too much, or sorry, complain that I squirmed too much. I can remember that. Booga ooga! Hi Atomic, hi, welcome on in! Booga ooga, booga ooga! Hi, welcome! I hope you're having a really good Halloween, welcome! Wah! She always told me to sit still, though it wasn't my fault that I squirmed. She just used too much force. Now this is curious. It sounds as though the reminiscences of the gravediggers are not particularly fond after all. Did she not get along well with her mother? I can't rightly say, the gravedigger replies, in that somber sort of voice. I was young, like I said, when she died. I really don't remember her too well. But I don't really think she ever had that much time for me. She was too busy with all the cooking and cleaning and, looking after my baby brothers. She had time enough despite that to brush her hair. She did what she felt like she had to make me look presentable. Not that it really worked. I wasn't like the other girls in the village, you see, who like to sit indoors with their mothers and stew. So, oh my goodness, I always loved the outdoors. My father said I inherited that from him. I keep burping! It's kind of like any other day, but it's alright. But it is like any other day, but you eat candy in excess. Hi, welcome! How's the going? I haven't made a single choice yet other than being in this village. Sorry, it was coming up again. Holy heck, I didn't even drink soda! I don't even have soda! But yeah, it's cute. I like this girl until she kills me or something. Probably, very expected. Not like the other girls. Teehee! When you get a chance? Oh, hold on. Alright, responded. Sue is pronounced so? Thanks, English. I know! I'm sorry. Sometimes it switches. It kind of just depends on the context. You don't get it? What do you mean you don't get it? The burpish is real? It's so real. I don't even know how to burp on command, but it's just happening. Slowly fading into Mongolian throat singing. Mongolian throat singing, probably. I don't know what that sounds like. A hidden talent for sure. Of course. Ruefully, the gravedigger smiled. Not that you could see it with your back facing her. My mother said I wasn't very, maidenly. She didn't like that I always trapezed around the house or around outdoors after my father, watching as he dug graves. She said it wasn't appropriate, like I was some sort of princess wearing a fine dress. The gravedigger snorts. I used to get a bit more muddy, yes, and maybe I did get burns on my clothes and knots in my hair, but it shouldn't have mattered. Not like I ever had any hopes of marrying a prince, no matter how much or no matter what my mother said. But still, she hoped. She had a lot of hopes. My mother. High hopes. It's convincing, thank you. Or sorry. Thank you. I sound like Microsoft Sam. Right? Is that his name? You know the guy who, the voice in that game of the Faith? and the old computers of I'm Microsoft Sam or something like that. I think it sounds like that a little bit. Mortis? Oh, Sam? Yeah. Sounds all yes. And no problem, Atomic. Please enjoy your life. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you. Thank you. I think she might have resented my father, maybe for working such a menial job. Our profession's an honest one, but it never really made that much money. I think my mother was hoping for fine jewels and dresses and... Wait, Mortis, is Sam not Microsoft Sam? Oh, my bad. I didn't know. Apologies. Oh, I don't know. She always had ideas. Her head was always full of fairy tales. It was a shame, I suppose, that her reality didn't match up what she wanted to. I didn't match up to what she wanted to. The bitterness in your friend's voice is unmistakable, so much so that you want to console her. What would you say to her, though? Brother, am I gonna finally get a choice? You never met your companion's mother. You never will either. Her cold, inert body has begun lying in the graveyard buried beneath a tombstone for over a decade. You have no way of assenting whether your companion's mothership really truly cared for her. You do have intelligence enough, however, to understand that poorly thought out condolences can cause more harm than good. You would not like it if people tried to reassure you that, of course, your father loved you really. If he loved you, then why did he send you away from home? Why did he never send you any letters? You know he was worried about his finances, but that seemed a poor excuse to pretend that his only daughter didn't exist. Oh, choices? I know, but okay, so... You're right, Pata. Pata says, oh, choices? I thought it was a visual novel more than a game. It is a visual novel. To be fair, I've only played, like, what? Katsuwa Shoujo. And I feel like there's a billion more choices. Not that there's, like, a lot of choices. Not that there has to be a lot of choices right now. I think they will all be kind of meaningless of, like, hold hand, hug, or, you know, like, some kind of comfort. Because that's all we had. Excuse me, choices for it, but like I'm just like nervous because I'm like, oh goodness, what if I say something bad or wrong, you know? It's more of a text-based game, but that's fine. It's fine. I'm not mad. I'm just like nervous. As for your mother, meanwhile, she was nice. At least you think she was, but she was woefully ineffectual. Though she was nominally an adult, she always cleaved before your father's judgment. You think that she was afraid of him. You do not try to tell the gravedigger, therefore, that her mother loved her, that she must have done, else she would have not given birth to her. Instead, you sit there letting the brush run through your hair, and you say quietly that you understand. Sometimes you feel like a disappointment yourself. Well, the gravedigger says after a pause, I'm glad I'm not the only one. I guess it happens to all of us. You guess so. Parents are only people after all. While one would hope one's parents would be kind and attentive, that too can fall victim to the caprice of their own. Just because one has brought a child into this world, it does not mean that one will be able to take care of it properly. Not all parents are responsible, just as not all people are responsible. It is a painful subject. Oh well, it's alright if my mother never liked me, or even if she never loved me. I know my father did, and that's all that matters. He was always there for me, no matter what. Your companion's voice catches in her throat. She winces. At least until he wasn't. He died, and I didn't do a thing to help him. Your companion's shoulders are beginning to shake. You still cannot see her, but you can feel her body convulsing. You can sense her loneliness rolling off in waves and all-consuming like the waters of a dark ocean. Grief anew pierces your heart, not only on your behalf, but in the sake of your benefactress. She does not deserve to suffer so much. This you have no qualms with telling her. You turn to face her and pluck your brush, which has been hovering in the air inert from her fingers. Then you let her know that her father's death was not her fault. What could she have done? She could have not cured his illness. I know, but I can't help but think, what if? And I keep racking my brain over and over, trying to think of something. But I can't think of anything, and even if I could, it's too late. He's already dead. He's dead and buried, and I buried him, and now I'm all alone. She might have been all alone, you tell the gravedigger, but she isn't now. Not anymore. How could she, when you're here? I know that. I know, and I'm grateful, and I know I don't even know if I deserve it. Why would she not deserve your company? You do not understand. Because I couldn't do nothing for nobody! My father always looked out for me when I was a little girl. When he needed me the most, I failed him. I failed everyone. All the villagers, all of my friends, all died. What would I do if the same thing happened to you? I don't think I could bear it. That's good voice acting. But yeah, when we get Traces, definitely we'll be able to be like, okay, we're gonna save. Should have studied med? Yeah, basically. It would have been a good compromise, I think. I don't want you getting sick too, not when I care so much about you. I thought I gotten used to being on my own, but now that you're here, it's making me worry all over again. I've been worrying so much that I can't sleep from it. I'm scared. Your companion's voice catches in her throat. Then she collapses in on herself. She leans forward, her arms wound in the middle as to steady herself, and she cries. She cries and cries and she cries. For a few moments you look at the gravedigger, unsure of what to do. Her pale face streaked with silvery streaks, tears, I can't read, seems to flicker in the candlelight. Her shoulders, which seem too slender to bear the cumulative weight of all the sorrow she has endured, are shaking. Your fatigue continues to cling on to you, as insistent as the fog which rolls among the tombstones in the graveyard at night. You are not so very tired, however, you cannot offer your hostess some comfort. You do not know what you could say to console her. You feel too weary to think of some pretty blah, 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 blah. But there's something you can think of. You would not typically be so bold, of course, but you are tired enough for once to draw cautious to the wind. That and the tears of the gravedigger are awfully arresting. Let's go! You open your arms, and before the gravedigger you pass comment, you pull her into your chest. Oh. A soft exclaim escapes the lips of the gravedigger, quieter than the sound of a wintry snow as it brushes the ground. Then, there's nothing. The gravedigger stiff in your arms for a few moments like the corpses she and her father used to seal away in the wooden coffins. She is all wide-eyed and awkward, pointed elbows, tears still coursing down her pale cheeks. You worry briefly as you hold her that you have, perhaps, made a mistake. Were your attempts at consoling her too clumsy? You would not know. You have never been in a situation like this before. You have never consoled any friends before because you'd never had any friends to console. It is not so now, however. You are as far away from your old life as it is possible to be, and the gravedigger does not curse you for your imprudence. Neither does she try to squirm away from you. Instead, she sits there, still as a statue, cradled in your arms. Oh, I'm nice, because I have mucus in my own throat right now. Nice. Oh, I'm very sorry to show you something so embarrassing. I just get so lonely sometimes. Until at long last, with a breathy sob, she lets the full weight of her body fall against yours. You run your hands against your sobbing companion's shoulders, blades in her back, and gently you soothe her. You tell her that she does not need to apologize. There is no shame in crying. You hug her for many, many minutes while she sobs against your chest, wetting the front of your nightgown. No further words pass between you that night, but they do not need to. Words are irrelevant in a moment as tender as this, shared between two souls who have come to understand one another through mutual loneliness. You slide beneath your sheets, you still feel exhausted, and the gravedigger joins you without asking for permission. They were roommates! And now they're bedmates! How cute! Oh my goodness. This is the start of Tippa CD drama career. Brother, give me all the visual novels. I got you. I'm gonna practice speaking. Good job, well played. Let's go. Thank you about that. Thank you, Weave. Thank you, Herbo. Weave says game 1, roll credits. The horrors were defeated by the power, probably more than friendship. Let's go. I don't want to experience. Gosh darn it. I don't want to excuse me. I don't want to experience anything horrible after this. I hugged her and we're sharing the same bed. Brother, I'm winning. It would be an unnecessary piece of politeness, really, given your acceptance is all but assured. You have already accepted the gravedigger after all. every single inch of her. You have accepted her hospitality, you have accepted her food, and now you are accepting her company. You arrange yourself beneath the sheets and then draw her body to yours. The gravedigger has not yet changed into her nightwear. Her clothes will be horribly rumpled when she wakes up come the following morning, her head resting against your chest. But tomorrow has ceased to matter. It no longer exists. There is no concept of time between the two of you, no thought of day which will dawn once this night inevitably ends. Instead, there is only the warmth shared between you and the wetness of the cheeks of the gravedigger. There is the sound, irregular now and less intense than before, of your companion's muted, muffled sobs. There is this gentle, tender moment snatched in the midst of a deep, dark night which can never be replaced. Your eyelids feel heavy as though weighted down with stones. They droop inexorably downwards, pulling you like a drowning maiden into a dark, impenetrable abyss of slumber. You yawn. Oh no, I really have to yawn. Gosh darn it. No longer I can't read it through the tears of my yawn. No longer lonely. Let's go. Method after. It dies. Then you fall asleep, cozied along beside the gravedigger like two cats in a basket. So cozy. You sleep and sleep and you sleep, more deeply than you've allowed yourself in quite some time. But when you awake, you found that you're no— Brother, I know this is gonna happen. I hate it. Hi, Bunny. Hi. Bunny. The concept chose this game because I'm like, so many I just want to play it. I just want to play it, but I hope you had a good run. I hope you didn't get eaten. Let me give you a shout out. One moment. Ta-da. Pata says no longer sad, lonely, terrified, and broke. Now they be happy, not lonely. Probably still terrified to agree. Likely still broke. It's okay. No worries. Big love. Big like to you. Thank you so much for stopping by. Again, I hope your stream was super well. And again, not eaten. Alright, guys. Time to ruin the fantasy. Yeah, we were far too happy for too long. But when you awake, you find that you are no longer in the bed upon which you slept, shrouded by sheets. The gravedigger, too, is nowhere to be seen. Instead, you are quite alone, lying by yourself in the dark. You blink, but your surroundings do not become any clearer. Is it the middle of the night? Perhaps you were roused from the slumber by desire to relieve yourself, or else to slake your thirst. Your sleep has been awfully disordered as of late, and the smallest of noises has been enough to disturb you. That does not sound quite right, though. You slept well. Of that you are certain. Your body feels invigorated, as though it slumbered for hours and hours. How many hours? You do not know. You do not know much of anything. You can feel a strange pinching sensation around your chest, however, and around your arms. It would appear as though somebody— Oh, I was like, is someone grabbing her? I don't see that one. No, it would appear as though somebody, but who else could have been, say, the gravedigger, changed your attire while you were sleeping? That is a startling thought, but the darkness which entombs you is even more so. The darkness which surrounds you is unsettlingly complete. It is so thick that you can't even penetrate it. Your newfound woes do not stop. However, at this deep, unnatural darkness, it is cold too. You are lying upon something hard, something sort of a stone slab? What is going on? You reach out, but your movements are soon stymied. There's something heavy lying on top of you, something that's limiting your movement. You were anxious before upon waking up, but at this discovery you feel downright aggrieved? A sharp prong of panic pierces through you, but you try to suppress it. Hysterics will get you nowhere. In most cases, they only tend to make bad situations even worse. What else could it be? I know, I'm so sad because I saw this in the previews of the images, so I'm like, gosh darn it, I knew we were going to be buried alive. I hate it here. You ought to know that already. You swallow your mounting dread the best as you can, though it is coming on thick and fast, and you try to squirm. You move your arms outward, but they do not get very far. There's a wall above you, and the walls on either side of you, walls which do not budge, gosh darn it, no matter how hard you push. Not, I must add, that you can push particularly hard, your anxious state notwithstanding. You never had much in the way of upper body strength, nor lower body strength. You do not have much in the way of strength at all. You feel quite helpless as you lie there, out of breath of your meager exertions, unsure of what you should do now. You can hardly set a foot in front of your face. Or hardly see a foot. Oh my goodness. You do not know where you are, nor why, but a terrible promotion is beginning to bear down upon you, one which initially you tried to discard. You did not want to accept it as a possibility, but where else could the truth lie? You are lying in a box, hemmed by the walls which offer only a scant few inches of you to stretch in any directions. Where else could you be but a coffin? The moment you allowed yourself to ponder this awful reality, in a moment you hear it, the irregular sound is drumming. It is though somebody, though they must be a very large somebody, is tapping their fingers upon the lid of your coffin. That, or it's raining. It is not the fingers of a giantess, though, which is disturbing you, nor is it falling rain. It is dirt. The sound continues on, as though it's drilling inside your skull. It is relentless, it is merciless, like ticking of a great celestial clock that it cannot be stopped. Your time is almost running out, but you knew that already, didn't you, when you were running through the forest? I feel a choice, but I don't know what choice we're gonna have in a coffin. You ought to have known, silly thing, that you could not outpace your destiny forever. Sooner or later it will catch up with you. You are stubborn, though, and you do not want to accept this. Not content to simply lie there, you cry out. You cry not only for your parents that you hardly knew, nor for your school friends that you never had. Instead, you cry out for your new companion, the girl whom you've been living with, and you've been shared one precious cherished moment. Goodness gracious. You cry out for the gravedigger. Surely this is some manner of mistake. Once she realizes that you are in fact entombed in one of the coffins she is currently filling, for else who would be moving the dirt above you, she would cease her operations at once. She will pull you out of the darkness back into the world of the living, and then she will hold you close. She will embrace you. She cannot mean to cause you any harm, not when she was so good and so kind. Why would she bury you? You cry to her so loudly you fear that your vocal cords might tear, all while banging against the roof of your compact prison. You cry desperately, helplessly, and to your relief your cries do not fall upon deaf ears. The sound of the falling soil stops, albeit briefly. Then you hear a voice. The voice is very faint, being filtered through the coffin's sturdy lid, but you recognize it. So you're awake then, are you, dear one? The gravedigger says. She sighs. Then she says, in a perplexed sort of voice, "Now, this is a pickle. I was hoping that you'd be asleep a couple more hours, so the last time we spoke could have been on better terms. If you keep screaming like that, I'm gonna feel bad." Your companion's words, though distant, are mistakable. You are so tense, you are so attuned to every single syllable, and each of them make you gasp. Was this not a mistake then? Does she truly mean to bury you alive? You posit the question to the gravedigger as best as you can, trying to keep the tremors from your voice as you do. Perhaps you think in your optimism that if you do not let her know how afraid you are, she will reward you for your bravery and let you go. Is this... oh my goodness. Is this what you're hoping, though? It is in vain. That's right! You really do catch on quick. So it appears that she really has committed to the task of burying you. What an unfortunate turn of events. Why, though? Why would she do such a thing? You thought she was your friend. We are friends, the gravedigger says, her voice so warningly offhand, warningly empty. I'm very fond of you. There's nobody dearer to me than you. I've had a really good time with you for the last... how long was it again? I don't remember. Yeah, damn, being buried alive? What a bummer. Neither do you. Well, if this little detail slip both of your minds, it can't be all that important. We have other things to worry about. If you really are friends, you say to the gravedigger, then... excuse me, then what does she have in hopes to... goodness gracious, to gain by burying you? Oh my goodness. You do not understand. But you understand her reply is even less. Well, here's the thing. The gravedigger says, in a reasonable sort of voice, as though burying somebody alive could ever be thought of a reasonable action. I've been digging graves for a long time, see? You cannot see. It is too dark, but you assume that you do see all the same. Well, I was thinking on these graves, but I have not had anybody to put them in. Not for ages, and it was rather sad. You think you know where this train of logic twisted thought— wait, you think you know where this train of logic, twisted though as it is, might be going, so you do not interrupt her. Yeah, she probably buried her father too alive. Yeah, no doubts. You know, no good would come of it. All you can do for the present is to lie there and listen. I was thinking I'd never find another person to bury in this godforsaken village. Not after the plague messed up everything. I was getting desperate. Until you came along, that is. Now that I have somebody I can bury, I'm not gonna let this opportunity pass by me. I'm sorry, but this is just a part of my job. It was what my father taught me to do. It's all I know how to do. I buried my mother, I buried my father, I buried all my friends. Now I'm gonna bury you too. It is sound and logic in a sense as the daughter of a gravedigger. Digging graves is her job, but something about it rattles you. If only you could put your finger on it. Yes. There's a bit of a flaw with her reasoning, is there not? You're not dead after all. You might not be dead now, the gravedigger says in response to your ingenuity, but you will be if given enough time. I mean, everybody else I've known died, so who's to say you wouldn't be next? It seems rather more likely that you will die, and quickly if she persists with her poorly thought out plan to bury you. Your coffin is not very large, and it offers you precious little space. Eventually, if trapped in long enough, you will run out of oxygen and then you will suffocate. That or you'll starve to death. Either way, your demise will be a slow, painful one. You're unsure which death would be worse though, given how precarious your situation is, and you do not wish to expend the necessary energy to ponder it. You need to plead with the gravedigger and quickly while she's still here. Okay, this looks like a game option! Yay! I mean, it's her job, but something tells me she was never paid. They did say they got paid, but like very poor. You tell her tearfully that you would never leave her. Why would you? You try to sound as convincing as your disordered nerves would allow, but the gravedigger remains unmoved. You say that, but how could I know you're not— how could I tell you're telling the truth? I thought you said you were a traveler. They never stay put in one place for too long. You get sick of me before long, and then you leave me. This way, at least I could be assured that we always stay together. If I bury you like this, like I did the others, we'll never be far apart. I even took care of you to put you in a nice spot close to my home, so you're only a stone's throw away, really. Isn't that nice? Privately, you think the gravedigger has a different conception of the word nice to you. Ah, nice. You do not say this, however. You cannot say much of anything because the panic has begun to set in. It is choking you, stopping up your throat so you can only help but cry. Or, sure. You scream, you beg and you plead, but it does little good. The gravedigger has already buried her mother. She has already buried her little brothers. She has even buried her father, who she loved above all else. She thinks by burying you, she is doing unto you an act of great kindness. She thinks she is going to kill you. Or you think she's going to kill you. In a sense, you're both right. Your opinions are so diametrically opposed on this matter, however, that you'll never be able to find any common ground. She's so passionate about her job? Yeah, I can respect it. No, I can't. You might as well save your screaming. She would not listen to you. She's beyond listening. Shush, dear one, says the gravedigger, very gently, just as gentle as she spoke last night when she confided in all her fears. It won't be so bad, really. Nothing will be able to hurt you down there. It'll be like going to sleep for a really, really long time. You can rest, and while you rest, I'll tend to you. I'll plant flowers on your graves. You'll like that, wouldn't you? This way we can always be together, and I'll never be lonely again. While the gravedigger speaks, she began to pile even more soil on the roof of your coffin. The sounds of dirt on top of you, on your arms, your legs, and your head conceals your companion's final words. You cannot hear her. You cannot hear anything about the sound of dirt and the scrapings of the shovel and your own desperate, frantic screams. You scream and you scream and you scream without cease until your throat feels hoarse, but your efforts are in vain. You hammer on the lid of the coffin with so much strength as you can muster, but the lid of the coffin is nailed shut. You are in no position to remove it. All you can do is lie there screaming and crying and banging on the fist of the roof of the coffin over and over as more dirt and debris falls on top of you. Eventually, enough dirt falls upon you to stiffen your screams for good. Your gravedigger can no longer hear you, and you can no longer hear her. You are all alone, trapped in a narrow wooden box which, regardless of what you want, is now your new home. You can smell the soil in the back of your nostrils when you inhale. It is so potent that you can taste it in your tongue. You can taste the eventual, inedible decay of your own body. You will remain trapped here underground forever and ever. Or, to a less melodramatic terms, until the last of your energy escapes you and you succumb to your own slow suffocation. It isn't a very pleasant way to go. Alright, save again! Yay! Sleep for a really long time? Girl, that's literally death. Girl, you are insane. Girl, we could have had a decent time. I would have been like, yes, if I feel like I'm dying, please bury me. Let's go on adventures together or something. Options are banned in this game, brother. But you'll forgive me if my sympathy is limited. You did bring this upon yourself, you know. You reap what you sow, and in your case, you made a series of bad decisions which— I did not make any decisions! I just went to the village! You reap what you sow, and in your case, you made a series of bad decisions which led to your untimely demise. Now, what do you want to do? Will you accept this faith of yours? Brother, I'm ready. I'm ready. I guess the soup really wasn't as good as she made it out to be. Yeah, I guess not. It wasn't worth dying over. Alright. We can do both. We have save files. We can try to see what fight against your faith does. I don't know how we're gonna get. Like, I think being buried alive, realistically, real talk, one of the scariest ways to go out. I think it's horrifying. I think that is an awful way to kill someone. And I'm happy to at least hear that there's not as many accidental burials. You know, people are like, yeah, I've been buried alive, and not in like a weird gang member way where they're trying to torture you and torment you. It's like, no, this was accidental. Like, they thought the person was dead and they buried them, but they actually turned out to be alive. Well, thankfully, if you're like a organ donor, obviously they have to check if you're actually dead. So I guess that'll never happen to me. But yeah, let's fight against our faith and see what the hecky happens. Are you not happy with the hand that fate has dealt with you? Ah, very well. I cannot blame you. It is quite a grim ending. I would not wish it upon my worst enemy, and you are rather dearer to me than that. Now, why don't we give this another go? Just try not to be buried alive this time. I can only endure so much of your screaming. Your fate again is once— oh my gosh, your fate is once again in your hands. Now I wonder, which path will you take? Oh, so cute! Alright, let's go to the shore, save, and let's see what we can, what do you call it? Just save, and then let's see what happens if we accept our fate. So you want to go to the shore? Good idea. What will you discover there, I wonder? The night is far from over, and there are any numbers of adventures still waiting for you. I hope that you have prepared yourself in advance, and I do hope for your sake that you learn how to swim. I have a sneaking suspicion that the skill might come in handy. Gosh darn it, this is why I didn't want to come here. I mean, you can still wake up mid this section. Yeah, I guess. You follow a path which leads to the shore, supporting yourself on a weary, aching limbs which feels ready to snap at your knee beneath the burden of your weight. You are a little more than a wisp of a girl, but you have been running for so long, and your feet are so very numb, and you feel like a great lumbering thing. Yeah, it feels like a story thing. I just want to see what the shore looks like so we can save our other option. You only hope as you continue to run that you will find a means to escape your current predicament by the shores. You do not know what awaits you, but you have visions of a harbor extending out onto the horizon, cradling a fleet of white-sailed fishing vessels. Surely there'll be a kindly fisherman who'll be willing to put you far, far away on his boat to a place where your pursuer will not be able to find you. I'm so sniffly and nasally. Hold on one moment. You can imagine, too, the face of this kindly fisherman, a face that you've lifted from fairy tales that you've read in abundance as a small child. He will have thick, bushy eyebrows and a dark brown beard streaked with gray. He will look intimidating at a glance, but he will be fiercely protective of you, just like your father. You do not know what fathers are supposed to be like. You're only imagining, and it's your imagination, however, which grants you the strength to keep going. Is this what the shore looks like? Heck. Alright. Let's load back. A fisherwoman? Yeah, I think we just will run into like a fisherwoman. I think maybe we could go ahead and skip so I could see at least what the girl looks like, because I know what the other girl looks like, and I can show you Cubs that potential option as well. But yeah, Pizza, please have a good night. No, it's also getting super late, gamer. We did wrap up the route, or at least our route, and I don't think, unfortunately, I will continue the rest of the story on stream. I am gonna politely wrap it up because we are approaching the 3-hour mark as well, so blah. But thank you for the hydrate. Please have a good night and sweet dreams. Thank you so much for stopping by for the stream and the last stream as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a good rest of your Halloween. I'll see you next time, okay? Thank you. Thank you for your support. Let's see if we accept our fate. Very well then. Enjoy your eternal slumber. I suppose this is goodnight for now, but this is not a goodbye. You cannot escape from me, even if you're buried deep beneath the earth. Where there is a will, there is a way. And even if the whole world has forsaken you, I never will. I will never leave you. You will never be lonely again. I got an accomplishment 10 PT, let's go! Hi Zero, hey hi, welcome, welcome! I will never leave Tippy, let's go! Hi Zero, hi, welcome on in. Thank you so very much for your continued support as a sugar bear. Thank you for the big 3L. Thank you for 30 whole hecky months as a sugar bear. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you're super well. I hope you dressed up for Halloween. Fellow cosplayer. I had at least a really fun Halloween weekend, you know? Welcome on in, welcome, welcome. Oh goodness, I want to look at extras. Oh, extras as in, oh I see. Oh man, excuse me. Here I lie and here I'll remain. Oh goodness, no! Don't just lie there. Get up, get going. What's the Persona 5 song? Get out there. I'm the making. Break free. Bravo, thank you so very much for the tail and for 28 hot Kivos. Thank you for the big 2A. Wakey, rice and eggs and bacon. No lying. Oh my goodness. They have music? That's so cute. There's different music for people? That's so good. That's so cute. What else did I miss? Locked? Okay, understandable. Have a good day. Alright, oh. Oops. I just want to see what the fish lady looks like. No, there's him over there! Ah! Wait. Gosh darn it. No! No! I keep saying no and saying things so stupid. Okay, sure. Okay, time. It won't let me fast forward. I just want to see the fish woman. Cubs, I know the other ending with the castle. I don't know like if I should spoil it. Are you interested in not spoiling? We could see her and I'll be like this. But I truly don't know what how this one ends. You know what I mean? I don't know what she looks like. I don't know what's the quirk about it. I probably drown or something, to be completely honest. But the other one, you actually run into like a princess, and it actually does relate back to the village, where it turns out that she's just not taking care of anyone because everyone's dead in the village because of the plague. So it's actually kind of cute of how the stories connect. But obviously, I'm obviously skipping this, so I don't really know. Hi, Tomic, welcome back. I just want to see Fishwoman. Oh no, I just want to see Fishwoman. Welcome back and Tomic Joe. Thank you, Ashley, for the contribution to karaoke. I just want to see the Fishwoman. You gas like a fish out of water? They know what they were doing when they were writing this. Alright, hold on. Brother, I don't remember. Well, actually, it did take this long to meet the other person. Wait, is there like font written in red that I'm missing? Gosh darn it. Let me meet cute girl. Please, she must be here by the cliff. Please. 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 And you know what's the weird part? She stood here, which I mean, I guess I would also stay there. It's not like in comparison to the village. Because she had the option to just hang out in a house. There you go! There you go! Finally! She actually looks very pretty. Oh my goodness. Girl! And she's singing? Oh, she's a siren. Alright, get us out of here. She's very, very pretty. Huh. And they're singing? Gosh, if we didn't have anime night in an hour, you bet I would be all over this. We love a person who's definitely going to kill me. She's so beautiful. It's so unnerving. Show me. Oh my gosh, her eyes. She's so beautiful. I wonder if this is her normal sprite. Like, is this how she's gonna talk to us forever? Oh my goodness. She's smiling at us. Oh, she has a cute smile too. Cubs, I can't believe we're gonna miss it. No. No, I want to see this route. Kill away? I don't know what the... Anyway. Oh, she's like the Little Mermaid. Anyway, I want to know this route, but I can't play right now because I have... It took me 3 hours to go through the other route. Or, yeah, I had to because we only talked for a little bit. So gosh darn it. You sleep with the fishes, title drops, next route? Basically, that's what it feels like. We can definitely try that as like a Cup Club chooses maybe next time. But I do definitely want to still play the other game we didn't have the opportunity to play. My brain is going, oh my goodness, what is the game I wanted to play? A Goody Two Shoes. Oh my goodness. I'm super duper excited to try it out. But again, I think it might be a little too spooky. That's like my main concern. But it truly is what it is in this heck of the earth. But yeah, Rika, thank you for joining me for today's stream. Spooky game after December? I know. Hike has really frozen over and I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah. Let me double check something really quick. Oh hey, someone's playing that one game I was talking about of the incest horror. I don't know how much we would want to go into that. Oh, and Big Ham streaming! Pog! Big Poggy Wuggies. And then someone is also... A lot of people are just streaming for Halloween! Halloween! Let me just double check. Alright, I think maybe we have our options available. Nightmare Before Christmas game would be fitting. Yeah, we can definitely like fit it into there, you know? Alright. Let's do this. Let's do that. Oh, Big Ham is a little devil! Oh, baby! Oh, I cannot help but want to raid into Big Ham. I can look at incest game later. Like, it's fine. Hi, Tazloga! Hi! Hello, welcome! Why was it? Oh yeah! I had chatted you all earlier because I'm like, wait, what happened? A Cub, Tayu had raided into me because they also played Slay the Princess. So I'm like, oh my goodness! What game? Oh, I'm sorry. I keep talking about the incest game. It's called... Goodness, I can't copy and paste the title anymore. It's too long for me to want to use my little fingers to type. But it's gained traction again. I was talking about it earlier, and it's a horror spooky game, RPG. I think the art style is really cute, but the whole thing is, I don't know. But I'm really curious to see it. I just don't think I will be able to play it. Yeah. Yeah. Don't worry about it. No, worry about it at least a little bit. They just started, it looked like they just started playing the game right now. So IDK. And since this guy says horror, it's Pupa all over again. Oh no. Yeah, and you know it's crazy that the game blew up because how do you call it? This game apparently has been out for a couple of months, but see, I can't say that because how do you call it? Because oh my goodness, I can't say that because this game also had been out for apparently a couple of months. And so I'm kind of like, oh, I just caught wind of it now, you know? Excuse me. The reason of how I found out about this game, by the way, was because I had someone in my recommendation and it just said that title and I'm like, oh. Oh my gosh, I have the hiccups now. No more burping. I'm evolving. But how do you say it? They had it in the game title. I'm like, oh, that's a really interesting game. Is it like I'm only sleeping? But this is like a more obvious attempt and call for attention, and like maybe it's like a very like just chatting stream. Like a very like desperate just chatting screen. So I was just like, oh, you know, I'll just check it out. And it ended up being this, and I really adored the art style, and I saw the lore, and I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm actually kind of interested to see where it goes. So we'll see. Huh? Atomic says, I heard the incest part is something you have to get your way into and only lasts for 30 seconds as a part of the vision. Weird, but okay. I'll have to see, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people are just like blowing it up to proportion, you know? Not agreeing and saying that it's morally correct or anything like that, or supporting that by any means. I'm just like, I'm gonna shut up now. All I know is the game that Manly played earlier, version 1-2. Oh, you watch Manly? Let's go. Handshake emoji. Handshake. Oh my goodness. Atomic says other than that, there's a lot more messed up stuff that makes it horror for a reason. Oh, see, that sounds fun, but I think the game would just be too spooky, you know? The what? Huh? What? The what, Tazo? What? I know, here we come. We have anime night, but I might push it a little bit closer to 9. It depends. I just have to double check something. But let's do a little spiel. Ta-da! So, Discord, feel free to join Tuesdays, which is today. We're doing anime night. Normally it's around 8:30. How do you call it? Normally around 8:30, but we'll push it maybe 8:45 if that's okay with you, because I get like a little bit of a longer break, at least like a little hour break. I've been streaming all day or sitting at my computer all day, so I'm kind of like, panic! But feel free to follow my Twitter. I have my schedule pinned up. Tomorrow I'm not streaming, most likely. Like it says I'm not streaming, but my schedule ended up changing. But I think I'm just gonna stick to doing my assignments that I cannot do while streaming. So we're all good there, and I will catch you comes Thursday for a Club Tuesdays, I believe. And we'll also be streaming on Friday, and that will be a to be determined. It might be a double stream where it's a gaming like Club Tuesdays with study stream, or it might just all be studying depending on how much I get done tomorrow. Wah, wah. But feel free to check out my socials as well. I do have the TikToks, the YouTubes, the Twitters, and all that, and I uploaded a silly Halloween clip, so if you want to go look at that, it's just one of the bark shorts, but I thought it was super duper cute, you know? Normally it's the only way I get to know about playing horror games, that I can't fathom actually playing one. Yeah, no, I feel the same way. I had watched them many years ago, to be honest. Or started watching them like for IB and IB and like all the other RPG Maker games. And I did watch their Alien Isolation run through. And that's the only reason why I am as familiar with it's the only reason why I'm as familiar with the game as I am, to the point that I know that I could not play that game. And anyone who can just like stay calm in the face of danger, I can very much respect, because I would either I don't do well. I am a flight person when it comes to the fight or flight, or sometimes I will just freeze, which is even worse. But yeah, thank you everyone for joining. I appreciate you. Feel free to hang out with the what do you call it? The my memory is so bad. Yeah, I mean, I hopefully I get to catch you later. Let's go ahead and copy a raid message because we are going to be raiding into the biggest of hams because she is streaming and she's looking for some Halloweens in chat. Halloweens! And we are Halloween, so let's wish them a very happy Halloween. I also have to check out the table outside if the kids have eaten the candy or the ants have taken it to their own hole. Like, I don't know. So, with that, please feel free to copy and paste the raid message. If you're not subscribed, absolutely no hacky worries. Feel free to use the very emoji Gaga raid. And if you are subscribed, thank you so very much for your support. Please feel free to use the Gaga raid. Yeah, no, I can't handle immersive video games, so don't even worry. I feel you. But yeah, please have a good one. Thank you, Atomic, as well. Thank you, SG. Thank you, Bobo. Thank you, Epic, for joining. And I hopefully catch you next time. So lots of love to you, okay? Okay, bye. Bye. Bye, Tazzle. Bye. Bye, Tazzle. I'll catch you later.